taon nakabaon sa lupang dinaluyan ng dugot, pawis sinalay sa buhay. Sa bukas na puno ng ligaya, ating iwagayway banderang may taglay na ginto at bughaw. Ikaw ang kulay ng MU. You make the stars alive tonight, like the sun in your eyes, as glorious as the sky. When you finally realize that the sky is the limit, basta't gawin mo lang ang kaya mo. When you finally realize that the sky is the limit, basta't gawin mo lang ang kaya mo. Magayway, banderang may taglang na ginto at bughaw. Ikaw ang kulay ng MU. You make the stars alive tonight, like the sun in your eyes, as glorious as the sky. When you finally realize that the sky has no limit, basta't gawin mo lang kaya. 'Cause we have no limit. Ikaw ang panalo ko. Basta't gawin mo lang kaya mo to.
Welcome to NU Manila's Safety Orientation video. Let's take a few minutes to learn how to stay safe in any situation. Your safety is our priority. Our premises are under 24/7 CCTV surveillance for your safety and security. JMB, MB, Annex, and Annex 2 buildings are equipped with active fire alarm system. NU Manila ensures readiness through its emergency response team equipment. Medical clinics are located in both the main and Annex 2 buildings for immediate assistance. Familiarize yourself with evacuation plan and procedures. In case of evacuation, proceed to the designated assembly areas for your building. During an earthquake, remember to duck, cover, and hold until the shaking stops. Know your way out. Take time to locate the nearest emergency exits in your building. During a fire or earthquake, do not use elevators or escalators. Use the stairs instead. Evacuate the building within 3 to 5 minutes and do not re-enter until authorities have declared it safe. If you are trapped in an elevator, stay calm. Press the emergency call button and wait for help.
Safety is our priority.
As for me, I am a dancer. Indigenous dancer or folk dancer to be exact. Na-empower ako ng mga past generations to carry on the legacy on practicing our dances. And I believe by that, promoting culture, promoting sustainability practices in my courses, in my daily life, lalo na sa mga tao sa bahay na kasama ko, I believe that is also one way to empower people, future generation, and recent generation as well.
To me, what it means giving us the tools, the experience, so that the other generation could see the changes in us, and so that the other generation, them generation, could see the changes and see it in the better future, better.
Well, as a student, I believe that we have this big role to creating a sustainable future, and just because we're not yet running corporations or businesses yet, we have this strong generational mindset, and with this generational mindset, we can create a sustainable future by the way we advocate, how we influence the people around us.
I do think that students like us, we really are a huge role in shaping the future sustainability. We are a change makers. We can contribute a lot. We voice our opinions to really boost the confidence of others. And I do think that we are also leaders by example, and we use it to really boost the decision of others and also be the change for others.
In my daily life, as basic as cooking my own food, reusing materials na ginagamit ko on my scale models, plates, I think that is also a small way on me practicing sustainability in my daily life. And I believe na sa maliliit na bagay na yon, I can continue on in a bigger pace once I grow up and once I get my profession.
In simple terms, I practice sustainability in my life by, let's say, I bring my own food to school, using my own Tupperware, using my own water bottle, and even if it's not that far, if I can walk, and there's so much cars that are, being manufactured every day, and there's only one person who's going to be sitting in there. So if I can commute, I'll commute.
Please rise for the invocation, followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
O Almighty and Eternal God, and ourselves and the times we live in, and strengthen us not to pursue only what we desire, but to fulfill the duties you call us to with unwavering faith. Help us, O Lord, to see the goodness in others, to honor the individuality you have placed in each person, and to practice tolerance, expecting no more of others than we are willing to give ourselves. Our deliberations, O Lord, grant us the wisdom to choose rightly, the courage to act justly, and the steadfastness to carry out your will. In all things, may we be guided by your light and love. Amen. God, we come before you.
Bilang kabataan, bilang kabata.
Tayo ang bagong mukha ng bayan.
Tayo ang sigaw ng pagkakaisa.
Ang hakbang ng pagbabago.
Sa puso natin, may tapang magmahal sa Pilipinas.
May dangal sa bawat pagsubok.
At pananagutan sa bawat pangarap.
Ngayon, sa pag-awit natin ng lupang hinirang.
Hindi lang ito simbolo.
Ito ang panata ng kabataang handang manindigan para sa bayan. Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, pero sa siganalan, alam ng puso, sa likid mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manluluping, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng bagaw, ay hinatang tulang awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iibig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pagkay mag-aamig, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
You may now take your seats. Good morning, Bulldogs! Good morning, National University! Parang hindi pa morning, di pa ata gising yung mga tao dito eh. One more time, good morning, National University! There we go. All right. So welcome back to the second day of the Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum 2025 with the theme, Empowering the Next Generation. Pop quiz. Sino ba ang next generation dito? Patay. Guys, kayo yun. All right. One more time. So who's the next generation? Raise of hands. Ayan. O, yung mga tao sa likod, di ba kayo next gen? Okay, mag-upgrade po tayo sa next generation, ha? All right. But no, kidding aside, we're so happy to be back. We had a fantastic first day yesterday where, you know, we got to speak to a lot of our brand partners and we covered a wide range of topics from telecommunications, banking, real estate, energy, finance. And today is going to be just as filled, just as fun-filled, just as knowledge-filled as it was yesterday. So before we continue, good morning again. My name is Sam Thurman. I will be your host for today, for this AM session, and also for this afternoon. Quick question lang. Who here was anyone here from yesterday? Anyone? Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Nice to have you, ma'am. All right. Was anybody, if you were not here yesterday, did you live stream? Were you live streaming? Okay, so just in case you guys didn't know, we are actually live streaming also to all 14 campuses of NU nationwide. So you see the cameras, just say hello. Yung mga tao dito sa likod, kita naman kayo sa camera. So say hello to all of our live streamers watching us this morning. But okay, so again, it was a very inspiring day, and today is also going to be just as inspiring. Today we are talking to leaders and getting a chance to hear from different industries, from real estate again, hospitality. Do we have any hospitality students? Tourism? No? Okay. And healthcare. You can't tell me walang healthcare. I see all of your uniforms over here in the front. Ayan. Okay. So marami rin for healthcare. So I think a lot of the topics that we will be discussing today are actually very relevant. They're multidisciplinary. And regardless of what field or course you're studying, there are still many things that we'll be able to pick up. And I hope that, today is something that may inspire you on your sustainability journey as we move forward. Okay ba yan? Okay. May nag-no? Parang may narinig ako ng no. Okay. All right. So, aside from that, aside from all of the different brand partners and our keynote speakers that we'll be hearing from today, we also will be giving away some exciting prizes during our raffle. Nako, the batch yesterday, when I said raffle, sigawan agad eh. If ayaw nyo manalo, okay lang. We can give the raffle to somebody else. It's fine. So yun. So we also have. So has everyone had a chance to register already at the registration booth? Yes. Okay, perfect. Because that is what you will need to be able to qualify para sa raffle natin. So we'll have raffles. We have some wonderful prizes from our brand partners. So thank you again to our brand partners as well for supporting this year's Sustainability Forum. And we're looking forward to getting to hear from you. So that said, I don't want to keep anybody waiting anymore. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. And allow me to introduce our keynote speaker for today. So very established and distinguished individual. He earned a double major in civil engineering and management from the University of Melbourne and now leads the subsidiary of SM Prime Holdings, the SM Engineering Design and Development Corporation, or SMEDD. Under his leadership, SMEDD leads the design and construction of SM Prime Holdings properties, integrating sustainability and disaster resilience in its developments. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm round of applause for Mr. Hans Chico Sy.
Good morning, everyone. Yan, gising na. Thank you to the Manila Bulletin team for putting this forum together and for inviting me to serve as your keynote speaker today. Just to introduce myself once again, I am Hans Chico Sy Jr. I am basically, to describe my role, I am the fairy godfather, wag naman mother, fairy godfather of the construction group. They give me an empty piece of property, I wave my magic wand, meaning my people, and a building comes out. So everything that you see in the shopping centers, from the SM Mall of Asia to the Mall redevelopments to the Mall of Asia Arena and to excitingly our upcoming Cebu Arena, that is basically handled by my group. So we really look at how buildings interact with people such as yourselves and really try our best to deliver an exciting experience for all of you, and that's why SM is where it is today. I want to begin today with a concept that will shape your generation even more than mine: climate literacy. Climate literacy means understanding how the climate works, how human activity affects it, and how that knowledge allows you to act with clarity and purpose. When I was your age, and I hate saying that because I obviously still feel your age at times, climate change felt very abstract. It was something you read about, not something you lived through. Unfortunately, your generation does not have that luxury. We are living in the century of heat records, rising seas, and the strongest typhoons we've ever recorded. Scientific consensus tells us that weather patterns will continue to intensify in the coming years. We are also living in a century full of solutions: renewable energy, green design, circular economies, and climate finance. Technology such as AI, when used the right way, helps provide solutions that will have a bigger impact on society. The way to make sense of both the challenges and the solutions is climate literacy. Think of it like learning a new video game. You cannot unlock your full abilities or the full map until you understand how the system works. Like any real skill, climate literacy takes time. You build it slowly, with consistent effort, one level at a time, and it begins with a few simple steps. I say simple but important. First, get the basics right. Learn beyond the classroom. Read to understand, not just to do an assignment. Listen to people who work in the space and build a solid understanding from there. I cannot emphasize how important it is for you to know the basics for yourself and to fully comprehend the issues for yourself. I emphasize the self because this is for you. In the office, to relate, we always encourage everyone to learn everything that they can, regardless of their specialization. Just because, particularly in our field, just because you're a civil engineer doesn't mean that you can't learn electrical, doesn't mean that you can't learn fire protection, mechanical engineering. It is all part of you as a person wanting to be better. Take advantage of the environment to learn more than just your specialty. Why is this important? Because no matter, and I say this to a lot of my employees, no matter what happens to you in the future, as long as you're alive, you take your knowledge with you. Knowledge is not like money or a resource or a relationship which you can lose. Knowledge is forever. Without this fundamental knowledge, we cannot move on to the next step. With knowledge, you will learn to filter information. More so than today, there is a lot of noise out there. Memes, fake news, AI trash videos. Your understanding of knowledge is all the more relevant because of the advent of AI tools. AI can be good when harnessed with knowledge, but can be very deceiving and malicious when used without it. We have a saying again in the office that one should not be allowed to use AI unless one is proficient in the topic that you are asking the AI. Because how do you know that the AI response is correct if you don't know how it's actually done? Make no mistake, I am not afraid of technology. I am afraid of people who use it irresponsibly. It is your basics that will give you the ability to discern. Climate literacy means knowing what is real, checking your sources, and spotting the difference between a genuine solution and simple greenwashing. So third, make a move. When you understand the science, the next steps become clearer. You can act in ways that help your community and the environment, and you can stay focused on what actually works. So what does that actually look like in real life? It starts with simple everyday choices. Bring a reusable bottle, segregate your waste properly, avoid single-use plastics, and make it a habit to save water and electricity. As a personal example, I make the effort to bring a tumbler to my regular coffee shop. This simple effort literally saves hundreds of single-use plastics a day because, trust me, in my world, coffee is life. Does that mean I don't use single plastics? I unfortunately still do, but I at least have a footprint. Can I do more? Absolutely. And I will make the effort as time goes by. But what really matters, guys, is that we started on this path. Your greatest influence is beyond lifestyle. It is participation, being part of a community and empowering a movement. Share credible climate action online to educate others. Support recycling efforts. Volunteer in cleanup drives. Join sustainability movements. As students, we are all used to peer pressure situations. I encourage that we use it in a positive manner. So like how we would encourage someone to possibly dance this new viral TikTok dance, we could likewise encourage someone to make a small change and reduce their plastics footprint. At SM, we also do our part. Our commitment to climate resilience goes back to the late 1980s. When SM Makati burned down in 86, I think, I might be wrong, my father chose to rebuild with stronger systems and better protections in place. SM Makati, as a trivia, was the birthplace of the implementation of the first modern fire sprinkler system in the Philippines. That moment is an example of how that event shapes how we think and how we do our work today. Today, fire sprinklers are ubiquitous. Every building has one, and a fire from SM Makati is what made that happen today. We learn from failures, and become stronger from the lessons. Our malls, residence, offices, hotels, and convention centers serve millions of people every day, and we recognize the immense responsibility that comes with that. We always remind our staff every day it is our role to make sure that all our customers engage in a very safe and friendly environment. To fulfill that responsibility, we focus on 3 fronts: mitigation, adaptation, and community resilience. On mitigation, we continue to expand renewable energy and energy-efficient designs. Many of our malls run on solar power, our buildings use LED systems, efficient cooling, and water-saving features. These are long-term investments that reduce our carbon footprint and help us operate more responsibly. On adaptation, we build infrastructure that protects people. Dozens of our properties have large rainwater catchment basins already built into the foundations. These structures capture millions of liters of stormwater and help ease flooding in surrounding communities. The idea is very simple. If we are possibly, a contributor to a flood, and how does this work? A rainwater catchment simply deters the water from flowing downstream. So whatever rain that falls on the property, we are able to store it and hopefully release it at a later time when the floodwaters have receded, so that we do not contribute to the ongoing concern. We take steps to really avoid that situation. It is not an easy task to build an infrastructure that doesn't have real commercial value, but it is something we do because we believe it is our responsibility. Flood control can be done. There, I mentioned it na. It is a public good that we all know that our government is responsible for. But this is an example that we can all contribute in our way and not just simply rely on somebody else. We also design for stronger typhoons, higher temperatures, and shifting weather patterns. SM pioneered the requirement for generator sets, simply because we know that these typhoons come with uncontrollable consequences, such as unfortunate power outages. It's actions like these that show just because things keep happening, it doesn't mean that we should just allow it to impede our progress. We have choices to make things to make our lives easier. Again, was this a simple task, putting generator sets into a property? No, but it is what is required for us to be who we are today. These initiatives help our properties stay safe and operational for people seeking shelter. On community resilience, we work with local governments, schools, NGOs, and global partners to strengthen disaster preparedness. Through SM Cares, we support programs for persons with disabilities, senior citizens, children, frontliners, because climate impact is not equal. Some groups face higher risks, and we have a role in helping narrow that gap. We also promote responsible waste management through our RDC system, which stands for recyclable, disposable, and compostable. It's the blue, green, and gray trash buckets you see in the SM malls today. It is a simple framework that helps people build better habits and keeps waste out of our waterways. This is also a very personal advocacy of mine because proper segregation is one of the most practical ways we can strengthen climate resilience in our communities. We all ask, how come we don't have more recycling in our community? This is what we need to do to start the industry. Without participation, it is an uphill battle for a recycling industry to start because the biggest component of a recycling company is segregation. Do you have to spend a lot of energy, effort, money to actually sift through the goods to make sure that you get the recyclable material from actual trash? And it is through these efforts like RDC that we are able to make a difference to these people. Even with all this, no company can do it alone. Your generation's voice, energy, and skills matter. You can help shape conversations and bring solutions to your community. You can bring fresh ideas, new tools, and a different level of urgency to the problem. Remember what I said about that TikTok video? Harness that energy for good. Climate literacy is just the first step in solving the environmental challenges before us. And your generation carries much of that weight because you will inherit both the challenges and the responsibilities to fix it. To end my message, I want to share a quote from Dr. Jane Goodall, who passed away last month. She was one of the world's most respected wildlife advocates. Her work showed how deeply we are connected to the natural world. She spoke about climate change often, especially its impact on endangered species. Dr. Goodall once said, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." As the generation who will inherit this climate reality, your actions matter, and your choices will define the future. So keep learning, stay curious, volunteer when you can. Your impact begins earlier than you think, and your contribution is greater than you may realize today. Thank you. I look forward to working with you to build a more climate-resilient Philippines.
Thank you very much, Sir Chico. If we could ask you to stay on stage, sir, and at this point we'd like to call on our Manila Bulletin executives to join Mr. C on stage. Could we please have our Head of Branded Content Group, Ms. Irish Lorenzo, our Manila Bulletin Sustainability Events Co-Project Lead, Mr. Philip Coonying, and the Brand and Marketing Manager, Mr. Leslie Arajo, to join Sir Chico on stage for the photo op. Right. And then can I please ask everyone to still stay on stage? We'd also like to call on our NU representatives and executives, Dr. Arlene Trillanes, SVP for Operations, Ms. Reina Rose Gulmatico, AVP for Academic Services, Mr. Michael John Andres, AVP for Administration, Dr. Jessie Barot, the tentative AVP for Research and Development, and Mr. Ricky Lawas, VP for Administrative Services. All right. And just for the last set, could we ask our MB officials to please step off stage? For our NU representatives, please remain on stage. We'll have one more photo op just with our NU representatives. Thank you. Any officials that we have here, our deans, kindly join us on stage. Thank you. All right, thank you very much, everyone. You may return to your seats. And once again, thank you very much to Sir Chico for opening our day today with that wonderful message. Now, for our first speaker for the second day of the MB Sustainability Forum, It's actually somebody very near and dear to all of us. It is Manila Bulletin itself, everyone's favorite newspaper. So the Manila Bulletin is the Philippines' longest running newspaper. Can any guesses? How long has Manila Bulletin been running already? Any guesses? I hear 60, I hear... Okay, actually more pa, lampas pa, triple digits na. All right, so Manila Bulletin has actually been around already and serving Filipinos with credible content for 125 years. Oy, wow, galing, oh, nakuha. Proud na proud. Yan. So, to give us insight about how Manila Bulletin's junior journalism program is operating and going, let us welcome on stage the company's public relation manager, Ms. Bernadette Cunanan, for a fireside chat portion. Ayan. Please.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me here.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Good morning, everyone. Ayun.
Okay na.
Kasi it bothers me when you were talking to them and they're not reacting.
Kaya nga ako rin eh. Parang kanina, buti na lang may nag-react kanina sa,
I know,
sa
right?
125
You know,
years.
it's difficult for someone on stage when all of you who are the beneficiary of this program seems like bored. So let's make this,
Let's make
before
it
I start,
interesting. Yeah.
can I do something
Sure,
fun?
please, by all
Okay.
means.
With your permission, Irish, Philip, would you like to check under your chair because we placed something there? Go.
Ay, wow. Pati yung mga reserved chairs, nagche-check.
Anyone found something aside from bubble gum?
Oh, I think there's one there.
There's one?
Okay, there's one.
Wala. Wala. Kasi wala talaga. Okay. You know why we have to do that? Just to wake you up.
May nakahanap daw ng chewing gum, kinain eh. Nako.
Sayang, dapat recycling.
Oo.
Related to it. Sorry, Irish, I just have to wake them up. Hindi kasi ako mapapakali when we will be bubbling here, mumbling everything, and you seem to be bored. So I have your attention now? Okay, we're ready to get the game rolling.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Ms. Badette, so we mentioned just earlier about the junior journalism program. And
Sure.
I think we were chatting earlier how this is a program that's very near and dear to you. Perhaps you could give our students a little context as to what that is, how it started, and what inspired Manila Bulletin to actually create this for the youth.
Okay, thank you for that question, Sam. I've been with the company for 26 years, okay? I started when I was about 30. And then, in a casual chat, you know what's good about working with a young boss? Ang bilis niya mag-isip. So mga projects na ginagawa namin with public relation, with CSR, are born out of a casual conversation. For this junior join, ang usapan lang namin ng boss ko, the president of the company, is summer eh. So usually pag summer, anong ginagawa ng mga youth? They go to workshop. Have anybody gone to a workshop? Photography, swimming, you know, stuff like that. So we were talking like, what program can we do to get the young people interested in the workshop that we will do? Kasi ang isa sa main advocacy ng Manila Bulletin is reading. Not because it's our business, but we know and understand the importance of reading. Example, I'll give you an example. Nasa daan ka, you're traveling on the road. If you don't know how to read, how would you know kung nasan ka na? But you read the signs, it's navigation. Hindi pa uso Waze nun. Pero pag marunong ka magbasa, you know where you are. Tama? Okay. So, basically, we're very much into reading as one of our advocacy. And isa sa importante sa puso ng Manila Bulletin are the young people like you. So, are you young?
Kasi kanina, di nga nila alam na sila yung next generation. Eh, diba?
I know, right?
Oo.
So, yun ang mga malapit sa puso ng Manila Bulletin. The young people even the elderly. So very close namin yan. So sabi namin, we don't want to be Me Too kind of workshop offerer. So ang usapan namin, teka, we can offer something special. Why don't we do a workshop, a summer camp, telling them, teaching them how to create a newspaper, kiddified, kasi mga bata. Hindi pwede yung style na ginagawa sa editorial, which is very serious, right? So we had to program and try to realize in the junior journey, ano lahat ang pwede namin gawin. So we started there. So yun ang casual, and then I start to buckle on the work, on the details. At first, we were known as Now, kasi kailangan natin now. Okay? Can you see? These are my students. 3 years old, 5 years old. You see the little girls in front? Uso pa nun yung sikat na sikat yung si Elsa. Let it snow, let it snow. Huh?
Si Frozen.
I know, right? When you're having a serious class, talking about news writing, and then naisipan nilang tumayo sa stage because they wanted to sing.
Wow, okay.
They will sing, and we do not stop them. We let them be. Maganda yung sinabi kanina doon sa prayer tsaka ni Mr. Chico, we respect individuality. Kasi when you're with children, you let them be, don't change them. It's like working on an article and you have an editor, you're asked to write an article, your editor will just have to check it. Hindi niya dapat palitan anong sinulat mo doon. Titignan lang niya kung tama grammar. That's exactly how we treat our students.
Wow, okay. So, but I'm very curious now. So with regards to the program itself, what makes it special for the students who join? Parang, what are the types of activities that they have that help them discover siguro their passion for journalism or even for storytelling? How does this all work?
Okay. Madami kaming ginagawa dito, Sam. Okay? Baka magulat kayo. Those are just some of them. If you take a look, can you read it? Okay. This is actually done in a 10-day, 4 hours per day program. Okay? So what is the objective of the project? Kids, this one we've proven, kids will learn to go outside their comfort zone. Lahat po ng estudyante namin, mahiyain. Di ba ganun naman tayo? Takot tayong magsalita sa harap. Hindi namin ginagawa ni Sam to dahil makapal mukha namin. But we're very comfortable with what we do, okay? And we wanted to share that with you, baka sakaling ma-inspire namin kayo. Okay? So outside their comfort zone, we help them develop self-esteem and their leadership skills. We help them develop characters and valuable skills, new social skills, and of course, making new friends, discover new interests. The personal and societal benefits is overwhelming. And definitely, overcoming their anxiety. Meron pa yan, Sam. Okay, eto lahat ang ini-introduce namin. So, we teach them all of this. All of this. This one came up nung sikat na ang digital. Okay? Because everything that we do in Junior Jorn is kailangan adapted on what's happening in the editorial side. So, since emergence na ng digital, we have to adjust our curriculum. Natatawa po yung mga teachers. Meron po kaming curriculum. Wala lang kami lesson plan. But we do a lot of planning, okay? So we teach them all of this thing in that 4 hour per day, okay? Eto na, the learning they get from the class, ito po testified by the parents, can be very useful for the school projects and presentation. So na-enhance po yung, lahat ng bata, ang paniniwala namin, Sam, is they have it in them. It is a matter of you helping them na ilabas yun. Enhance it, help them be comfortable on their uncomfortable side. Then, we were able to enhance their reading and writing skill. We teach them editorial. So sobrang nahahasa sila. Okay? Better English comprehension, it's not just reading, okay? With comprehension, improvement in self-expression, and their awakening of their analytical mind. Lahat ng to may resibo as I go along, okay? Please take note, and I'm proud of this. lahat po ng faculty members ng Junior Jorn are member of our esteemed editorial group. Next, walang bayad yun. No, but let me make this clear. Ang lahat ng enroll is 50 students in a class. The 40 students are from different school. Name it, we have it. Montessori yan, Ateneo yan, La Salle yan. Wala nga nag-enroll na NU eh. Baka sa susunod meron na. Okay? So, different school. We reserve the 10 students. Parang may scholars kami.
Right.
So, we get students from public school, which is next to our building. Siyempre, within your environment, katutulong, right? So, students from Manila High. So, we have 10 scholars who are part of the class since we started. Hey, Sam, I think I moved so fast. Okay, we're on to this one?
Yeah, so well, actually, just a quick question. I'm
Sure.
surprised. So, what's the age demographic for the students?
Okay. After having students at 3 until 5, medyo in-elevate ko na.
Oo.
I'm not complaining, I was babysitting actually. But we have to put it up para yung attention span, 7 to 17. Pero yung iba lampasan ng 17, they still want to come back. Okay? May I just mention, it was very fulfilling in a way kasi pag nag-start na ang klase, I get a lot of calls from parents of the students that we have. Bakit po? Nagko-complain sila. Yung anak nila ayaw pumasok sa real school. They want to go to the Manila Bulletin School.
Wow. I think that deserves a round of applause. That's just testament
You
to
can do
gano'ng
better than
galing,
that.
diba? Galing.
Okay. So, ganong calls.
Yeah.
And the development of that happens naturally. Hindi namin pinipilit na magbasa ka. So we make fun activities, and the same thing we tell every member of the faculty that we have. They have to make it fun. Dapat may interaction.
Right.
Vast and learning, like they were able to carry that performing par excellence. So sobrang proud ako dyan.
Wonderful. And I love how the program really ties with our theme today. No? It's
Yes.
really about empowering the next generation. So, siguro ma'am, if you could give us a little more context, how does this program also contribute now to a sustainable future, right? Kasi when it comes to sustainability, there's really a not naman misconception, but normally the first thought is environment, di ba?
Yes.
Go green and all of that. But beyond that, in terms of education, values, critical thinking, understanding the truth, how does this help our young people?
Okay, eto na yung resibo. Yung lahat ng niyayabang ko sa inyo, may resibo ako. Okay? This is empowering the next generation, MB Junior Journalist style. Okay? Let me share with you some information about some of our graduates. Okay? Maria Andrea Butyong, isa to sa pinakatahimik na estudyante ko when she was enrolled in Junior Jorn, okay? But look at the accomplishment. After the quietness, she's got this. Nasa 3rd spot siya ng Radiologic Technologies Licensure Exam. All over the country, she's top 3. Tama ako? And then, she's now working at Manila Doctors. She now ini-invite siya to talk in clinical graduation. Okay? And usually a speaker at the Philippine Orthopedic Center. And a regular lecturer, teacher po siya at FINMA. That's where she graduated. Meron siyang quote, "The learning that the Manila Bulletin gave me are still running through my system." Ang sarap, di ba? But there's more. Bennett. Ito yung abogado namin. Tontuwa sila. I have 2 students here actually. You meet them. From the La Salle University, graduate of AVCom. He attended 5 years. 5 years po tumakbo ang junior join namin. We stopped during the pandemic. And then won several awards. Very active. He wanted to be a lawyer. He wanted to be in politics. I'm not sure if it's still the same feeling. He was a president of La Salle Student Government and many others. Okay? Let me share more. Si Joanna, graduated, ano po ito? Manila High din. Isa sa mga tahimik noon. Okay? Conferred with the College Achiever Award for excellent academic performances and non-academic performances and leadership. Also the officer ng kanilang Department of Communication in the university. She now works with GMA Network Center. Okay? And she's finishing her pending manuscript as she is also a registered novelist. Yabang, di ba? This one. Graduate po siya ng UST, Fulbright Global Undergrad Exchange. Full scholarship to. From the US, full SEM, he was sent to the US to take on this. Libre. Okay? Recognized, may dalawa, yung hawak po niya are Quill Awards. Involved po siya sa program na yan na nanalo sila from IABC. Sa graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Faculty of Arts and Letters, UST, summa cum laude.
Wow. Guys, just in case you didn't know, a Fulbright scholarship is not easy to get. That is a very prestigious, very prestigious.
Very critical,
yes, that's
details
true.
and all. But it's something you may want to Google or research about. Baka mamaya, you understand the chance. Lovely Irene, isa to, naku, pag pinasalita mo to when she was with us, nanginginig. Kulang na lang lumubog siya at kainin ng lupa. Okay? She wanted to be an expert in the field of IT, taking up Bachelor of Science in Computer Science at Angeles University Foundation. She's very active in schools' different activities. Andiyan po yan. Itong maliit lang pong frame ito na mahiyain. But I myself can't believe she's very much involved in military training. Nagkadre pa siya. So she's now a reservist under Sinaglayan. Yan ang team nila. She graduated from high school with the highest honors. Consistent siya. Achiever pa. And then on the side, she's also into member of the lectors of one of the main church in the city where she is from.
Wow.
Okay.
Any relation, ma'am?
She's actually my pamangkin.
Oh, wow. Ang galing.
And then, pero syempre, when they're in school, bawal lang kamag-anak. You get the hit if you're doing wrong, right? But I just can't believe she just recently competed to be the cadet of the year. This is national.
Wow.
So we'll find out the result of that sometime next month. And she is invited to be one of the exchange students to be sent to China. Full scholarship yon for 3 weeks. Kaya nga nag-aayos siya ng documents na ngayon, ng paper. Okay. Okay, I think I went too far.
Yeah, so I'm so impressed. I'm actually kind of speechless because of all of
Konti
that.
lang to, Sama.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you could go on for the whole morning with all of the achievements. But I think I want to understand also how the program helped develop them to be able to achieve all of this.
Yes.
Especially in terms of their critical thinking and how they write when it comes to real world issues like sustainability, community, or even social change.
Alam mo, Sam, sa atin, palagi sinasabi sa atin, magbasa kayo. Magbasa kayo. Not because kailangan nyo malaman nangyayari, but it's very important. Kailangan adopt kayo sa present that's happening around us. Hindi lang yung issue na nangyayari sa government, but try to learn anything and everything. Don't stop reading. To the point na pati yung pinagbalutan ng bulaklak na galing sa dangwa, dyaryo yun. Basahin nyo yun, may mapupulot kayo doon. Okay? Paano namin na-develop? Eto, resibo. Okay. Understanding the real-world issues. Part of the program of Junior Jorn, siyempre, pag gumawa kang dyaryo, may mga press con that we attend, right? So we also have that in the Junior Jorn. In one of our press conference, we had then Senator Sani Angara. Isa po siya sa nagpo-promote ng, remember the Bangsa Moro Law?
Yes.
Okay, BOL. Yung state within a state ang pinupush. So, Sani Angara was in her class to sit as a resource person. May imagine mo, nakikita mo yung maliit ng batang yan. He asks, "Sir, are you going to sign the law Kasi very controversial yun. Alam mo, taken aback si Senator. Hindi niya in-expect yun. Coming from a very young kid, but he understands what's happening.
Right.
It's the same thing with all of them because everybody's participative, raising their hands to ask the question. They're asking the question not just because they want to say it. They wanted to understand. So what's happening? So you get the answer straight from the person. Sabi ni Senator Angara, I was impressed not only with the content of the question, but also the way they were delivered. Very respectful, very articulate. Actually, after ng press con, Senator Angara talked to me. Sabi niya, Badet, gusto kong i-enroll yung mga anak ko dito. Sabi niya, o diba? Eto pa, may isa pa kaming in-invite na speaker for the press con. Ito yung head ng community relation sa Western Police District. Okay? So when he was there, explaining ano yung trabaho niya and all those stuff, and then one of our students asked, Sir, may napatay na po ba kayo?
Wow.
That's straight. It's not to offend the speaker or the resource person. But, syempre, di ba yun ang unang tatanong mo pag police, di ba? Sir, may nabaril ka na po. So, Captain said like, had to explain in a way that the children would understand, pero hindi sila ma-off dun sa resource person at sa trabaho niya. But, syempre, sobrang papuri niya sa klase and the conduct that, on how they were during the press con.
Right.
Sobrang proud moment yan. Dalawang tumatak yun. Marami pa pong ganyan. Actually, I can even write a comedy book with all the questions that they have, just because they're very curious.
I think we'd like that. Maybe we can get that someday, no?
And I'll give you all a copy of it para sumaya naman kayo.
And it really cuts, there's no age, no? Even the youngest ones up to the eldest participants.
Yes.
It's really the critical thinking that's developed.
Yes.
And so you've shared so many examples, but maybe we can go even further. Like in terms of over the years and for how long has this program already been going on?
We started in 2014.
Wow, so it's almost 11 years na.
We had to stop during pandemic.
Okay.
So, during pandemic, kailangan tumigil namin because, alam mo yun, the bawal
of course,
thing.
yes.
Now, with the present time, very lean and mean editorial. Kasi nga, editor sa mga faculty namin, well, we have a good idea. We're going to bring it back and we're going to invite our graduate to be part of the lecturers. Kasi mas alam nila, tsaka nandyan na sila sa real world eh.
Galing.
So they can share more. At alam nila yung learning, na-understand nila.
So I'll connect to that. So in terms of the changes or success stories that you've seen over the years, or what have you seen from your graduates mismo? And can you share an example that really showcases how the program has helped empower the youth?
Hey, sure. Success stories naman. Parang ganun din yun. Pinakita ko. But this one's different. Okay? Ezra. Siyempre summer. So some of the children of our employees, they come to work with their parents. Ezra is one of them. She was about 5 when she was in the office. Nakikita niyo yung mga bata, dumadating. Ano yan? Prospective kalaro, right? So sabi niya sa mom niya, Mom, bakit ang daming bata? Sabi niya, mom niya, gusto mo ba? Ayoko, nag-i-English sila eh. Sabi niya. So, the mom talked to me and told me like, Mom, gusto niya pero natatakot siya, nai-intimidate siya. So, I told the mom, that's her mom, bigay mo siya sa akin. Let me take care of it. So, dinala niya sa akin. Eto ka. So, mingle. Kasi, okay, I don't know if our members of the faculty would be able to relate. Sa amin po kasi hinahaluan namin. Sure, it's fun activity, kiddified, entertaining the way it's presented, but also we have break times. We have the whole ballroom of Manila Bulletin to us. So at break time, we let them run hanggang masulog yung energy nila, mas magamit na nila. So at class time, tahimik na sila. And then palagi ako may basket ng candy. Siyempre, mga bata eh. So if you do good, you get the chance to get 5 candies.
wow, di lang isa. 5 agad. Galing.
Oo, contribution ko yun. So something like that. Ezra, sabi ng mom niya, on the 3rd day, sabi niya, Mom, unbelievable. Alam mo ba, kinakausap niya ako sa English. Nagtatry siya, medyo nahirapan pa siya nung nagtatry siya. Sabi ko, oh, that's good. That's an improvement. Ito, best part. So, minomonitor ko sila eh. Alam niyo po ba? She was awarded a couple of times best in English.
Wow.
Okay? She studies at Ang hina naman ng palakpak nyo. Okay, consistent honor student with the highest honor. Best in English. Okay? She's also into radio broadcasting. At first placer palagi. She's also a news writer sa kanilang school paper. I have one more. Summer, ayan. Alam mo po ba yung intimidation that she goes through? Kino-cover niya in a form na nagko-comic siya. Okay? But this is her now. She graduated dance under performing arts in LaSalle College of Arts, Singapore. University of Arts, Singapore, full scholarship from the Singapore government.
Wow.
Eto pa, ang dami nag-o-offer ng scholarship sa kanya from US, Singapore, and Hong Kong. She even performed in one of our graduation ng Junior Jordan.
Ang galing.
Super proud.
Wow. All right. So ma'am, as we've heard so many success stories.
Yes.
And I think the next thing, syempre, because it's sustainability, how do we move forward now? And we understand that the media landscape, you mentioned earlier nga, eventually you had to add na the online portion,
exactly.
right? That curriculum. So as media changes and media evolves, what now comes next for the junior journalism program? And what does Manila Bulletin intend to do to keep the program relevant and to continue inspiring the youth of today?
Teka muna. Are you inspired? Yes. I'm glad.
Perfect.
Okay. What's next for them? Aside from the standards, kasi all of you are willing or excited to learn news writing. Hindi ko alam, Sam, pero marami sa mga estudyante are very much interested in sports writing. Diba? And then, ang government natin, they have this competition which involves writing. Meron po yun, di ba? Organized by DepEd. So, we wanted to align with that. But, with the present time, we wanted to adjust every time all the changes that's happening, not only in our editorial, which is adjustment. Lahat sila natututo to adapt, to embrace all the things digitalized tayo, di ba? So kailangan ma-adapt yun. It's the same thing on the offering that we wanted to do now for our future junior jorn. So mag-a-adjust kami doon. Ano nangyayari, hindi lang sa editorial ng Manila Bulletin, kung hindi ano nangyayari sa buong mundo ng media where we belong. Because the main purpose still is to keep you informed. So we will continue to do that.
Okay. Ms. Badet, before we wrap up, any, ito, testimonial, moment of truth, last words that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. Okay, if there's one thing, after she talks, do I step out after?
We'll be bringing someone on stage.
Yes.
Okay, by all means, please.
What will be my last word for them? Guys, keep on reading. Hindi yung makakasama, makakabuti sa inyo. Being curious, you continue to do that. You ask questions. Huwag kayong mahihiya. Like, you may not have the chance again. Nakita nyo si Sam, kunyari, artista si Sam, sikat na sikat. Nahihiya kayo. Hindi kayo nagpa-picture. Pag uwi mo sa bahay, sabi mo, sayang sana nagpa-picture ako. You'll never get the chance. So don't miss any opportunity. It will only knock once. The next time, you may not get it again.
Okay. Inspired na inspired. Mas lalo pa ma-inspire. Would you like to introduce who we have?
Of course, to do justice, di ba? Kailangan may script ako.
Ayun, may write-up. Galing.
May write-up. Yes. Okay. I brought somebody with me. She's with me. Actually, one of my students is also here. Leticia, would you like to face the audience? She's a member of M-Brand under Irish. She's one of our writer there, featured writer. So sinusulat niya anong ginagawa niyo. So you better participate. Okay. This lady that I brought with me is an online content producer of GMA, Integrated News Digital Strategy and Innovation Lab. Okay? She also, yan po siya. Nakikita nyo? Parang
Ito, dito.
Yes, that's her. That's one of our recognition with the faculty members. Nakikita nyo naman, that's our editor-in-chief. Siya yung the late Mr. Chris Ickban. Okay. So, kasama sila. Si Secretary Sani Coloma, Art Sam. These guys are with our digital. Okay? This girl also serves as internship advisor for Communication Department of Adamson University. Graduate siya dun eh. She's also currently taking up Master of Arts in Communication program at De La Salle University. Let me click this. Okay, eto siya. From 2015 to 2017, graduate po siya. Also from Manila High, Intramuros. Eto siya ngayon.
Wow!
Graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Adamson University. Summa cum laude. Okay. Producer po siya sa segment producer ng GMA Integrated News. So Sam, I'm just so proud to let you meet Jenica Villanueva. I had to reserve that center seat for you.
Thank you,
Take it away.
So, good morning sa participants ng Sustainability Forum natin for today. Hello, Sam. And of course, it's an honor to sit beside Ms. Badet. So, tungto ako and I'm all smiles hearing the stories. Nakita nyo naman very nene days pa nung nag-participate sa MB Summer Workshop. And then, ito na ako years later. And yun nga, nabanggit din ni Ma'am, now a practitioner for GMA Integrated News. So, yun. It's nice to be here.
So maybe you can just quickly explain to us, how was your experience, being part of the junior journalism program? What were some of the things that you learned, and not just that, but what are you applying now actually in your work and as you're taking your masters?
So nabanggit ni Ms. Badet kanina na merong 10 slots for every year na ma-installment ng workshop for students of public schools, at isa ko doon, being a graduate of Manila High School sa Intramuros na literal, nakapitbahay lang ng Manila Bulletin. So siguro kung may isang bagay ako na-apply hanggang ngayon in practice, not just as a student, then myself for MA, but also as yun nga, media practitioner, ay yung isa sa mga taglines before ng Manila Bulletin. So I remember may isang t-shirt kami dati na nakalagay, discover the different sides of the story. And as a budding journo, very foundational sa akin yon because it really taught me at an early age kung gaano ka-importante yung balanced reporting. So nowadays, we are facing challenges as practitioners, of course. Journalism is now embattled, having to face with issues of misinformation, disinformation, and of course, unfortunately, merong dwindling trust sa media organizations and journalists in general. So, madalas nasabihan tayo ng bias, na kumbaga sided yung mga reporting natin. So, yung learning na nakuha ko sa Manila Bulletin na dapat you consider the different sides and angles of the story, and you always consider kung sino yung mga parties or yung mga tao or departments man yan that you get your information from in building your report so that you ensure na hindi biased yung naipapakita mo or na i-report mo sa publiko, and you really give them the information that they deserve to know.
If I can touch on that, so maybe for those in our audience who are inspired or are even currently, taking up journalism, for you, how is that journey now of being a defender of the truth? No, because as you mentioned earlier, there's really so much misinformation. It's a changing landscape, and with the digital environment, it's so easy, diba? Ngayon, you put out one tweet, you put out one message, and it can spread like wildfire. But as a journalism and being part or a graduate of the journalism program, how do you defend the truth now? How can we play our part in defending truth?
So, I like what you mentioned earlier about sustainability na parang may misconception tayo that being sustainable is all just about the environment, going green. Pero yun nga, no, yung sustainability, it can also happen with how we establish our critical thinking. Na very important nowadays because Sir Hans Sy also mentioned earlier na there's really a lot of noise out there. So how can you be a truth defender? Siguro, you start with yourself. Una sa lahat, with what we consume online. Napakaraming resources, no? So kami sa media, minsan hirap pa kami mag-penetrate sa audience given the volume of content out there. And sobrang daming mga sources ngayon na kumbaga parang they imitate yung content from credible sources and they intend to deceive the people na kunyari galing yun from this legitimate organization. So I guess we start with what we consume and be very discerning kasi hindi dahil with the digital age, sobrang bilis na ng access natin to information. Lahat ng nakikita natin tama and lahat ng nakikita natin dapat pakinggan natin or dapat maging foundational sa kung paano tayo bumuo ng thoughts natin or ng opinion natin about what's happening around us. So I guess we have to establish that habit as a truth defender or yung part of the crusade of really still fighting for credible information na we start with what we consume. So sa araw-araw, sana we still prefer the journalists, the media organizations, compared to the content creators. Not to discredit them, of course, but be discerning in what we consume kasi as journalists, as what I've said earlier, we always try to cover the different sides of the story, be non-partisan. So sana we still practice that every day and that we do not really allow ourselves to be consumed by content na leaning lang on one side of the story.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's a wonderful way for us to wrap up this session. It starts with us. We are the frontliners and the defenders of truth. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
And we'll see you again for the panel discussion later. Or Dina? Okay. All right. But again, a round of applause, please, for Ms. Badette. Thank you so much. All right. Grabe, na-inspire ako. How are you guys? Are you all also inspired? May mag-enroll ba sa Manila Bulletin Junior Journalism Program? I saw a raise of hands. Ayun. Thank you. Okay. So, if you want, baka we can catch some of our MB personnel. We can ask about details later. But for now, we move on to our next brand partner, who is one of the largest property developers in the Philippines with a solid track record in developing large-scale integrated mixed-use sustainable estates that are now thriving economic centers in their respective regions. So, driving its zero waste to landfill 2030 strategy, Ayala Land intensified waste diversion, circular economy, and plastics management in 2024, successfully diverting 32% of its total waste from landfills. So to talk about transforming mindsets and transforming cities, we are joined today by Ayala Land's notable leader in sustainability as she guides sustainability strategy formulation and execution, focusing on net zero and circular economy. So can we please give a warm round of applause for coming on stage from Ayala Land Incorporated Sustainability Head, Ms. Ana Gonzalez.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Okay ba? Maganda umaga nyo. That was really inspiring. I took a video of our testimony kasi na-inspire din ako. Gusto kong maging when I grow up, I want to be a journalist. Yeah. So thank you very much, Manila Bulletin, for inviting us again. I guess we've been participating in these forums this is the third time, right? Okay. So medyo iibahin ko yung aming presentation. Usually it's about the company and what we're doing. But for this particular presentation, I'm going to focus on mindsets. Basically, paano ba tayo nag-iisip? At paano yung pag-iisip natin ay nagiging action, di ba? Sabi nila, where the mind goes, that is where your feet goes. That is where your body goes. So medyo iibahin ko ng konti, pero in a way, sana ito na rin, makuha nyo na rin yung kwento ng Ayala Land. So simulan natin. Okay na ba kayo? Are you ready? Alright. So, okay. So, although this is all about Ayala Land, obviously, but I will just begin with this thought or a certain mindset that might feel strange to you, no? Or baka alam nyo na to, no? What if the way our city, di ba marami tayong reklamo tungkol sa buhay, sa city, sa traffic, sa ating pamumuhay, basically. Pero what if kaya siya ganyan? Kasi galing din sa mindset natin. Or maybe yung mindset ng parents natin or parents ninyo. Okay? So I'll just try to go through some of those mindsets that might have to change or even transform so that maiba naman yung mga syudad natin. Okay? Sorry nag-aano to. Mamatay-matay ang aking telepono. So, yon. So, and then I will walk you through these 4 mindset shifts once we're already seeing across Ayala Land communities and how these shifts are creating a new kind of city experience. They may or may not be a result of our sustainability focus areas. Actually, sa amin yung sustainability is lived and managed and implemented by everyone in the company, hindi lang dun sa sustainability unit which I had. So, kanina, si Mr. Chico talked about climate change, and I was really happy he did that kasi I don't have to talk about it anymore. So, if you look at our 4 focus areas sa sustainability, which is site resilience, resource efficiency, pedestrian mobility, and transit connectivity, and local economic development, these are all designed and come from our awareness of climate change. Ito yung aming sagot eh. Ito nangyayari sa ating klima, ito nangyayari sa ating lipunan, ito ang sagot, or this is part of the answer. Yung iba kasi, hindi namin sinasabi na kami lang ang sagot, hindi namin sinusolo yung responsibilidad, and I'm really happy companies like SMDC and our other partners, I saw other developers in the mix, we are all doing our best for sustainability. Okay, so ito na po yung 4 mindset shifts. Okay. Sound. May sound ba to?
It's a great initiative by Make It Makati and the Makati LGU.
Our first finisher, barefoot runner.
Having this every Sunday and having this opportunity to do what they want to do, give them an opportunity to run.
Yeah.
It's like the investment, this is going to be seen in the next couple decades.
Have fun, enjoy all of this, enjoy the car-free road.
So yun. So, di ba, sabi ng parents natin, freedom is equated with car ownership, may kotse ka, pag nagtrabaho ka, dapat may kotse ka. But every Sunday, something different happens dito sa mga estates namin. And one example is yung Ayala Avenue. Imagine, sinasarang Ayala Avenue, yung main street every Sunday. Siyempre, nung una, marami nagreklamo, pero ngayon, you know, everyone's into it, especially young people like you. So hopefully, this culture shift is carried over to other areas. So, di ba? Kaya niyo siguro pasara yung kalsada sa labas, not just for rallies, Oo, medyo nag-time ako kanina kasi dito nagra-rally dati nung kabataan ko. So it would be nice to have actually car-free areas, not just on maybe on weekends muna para hindi naman tayo makasagabal. So in our case, okay, hold on. So yan. So this is just about the car-free Sundays. And maybe we can inspire you to choose careers, lifestyles, and advocacies that will help actually promote this as a future practice. Diba? Ang ganda sana yung future, talagang normalize na yung walang kotse. At least some of the time, or maybe half of the time, para mas madaling pumasok, mas makahinga tayo ng mabuti, at hindi tayo masyadong mapagod din sa kikipagpatintero sa sasakyan sa kalsada. So yun. So that's another way of looking at freedom. Freedom is being able to move around safely and joyfully and not necessarily by car. Okay. Ang susunod naman is redefining convenience. So freedom, convenience. Okay.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. Fire, 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 fire.
This world, concrete, flowers grow. Heartaches, she only do what she know. Weekends, get it poppin' on the low. Better days coming for sure.
Okay. So yung convenience, I'm sure naglalakad naman talaga tayo, pero sana makapaglakad tayo with dignity, no? So ngayon, yung convenience should be ang tanong natin kesa sa how convenient is it to get there by car or can we find parking? Dapat ang tatanungin na natin, pwede ba maglakad papunta dyan? Is it safe? Is it comfortable? So sa Ayala Land, and I hope other developers, and I think other developers are following suit, we're designing wide sidewalks, shaded walkways, underpasses, transit hubs, tsaka yung mga P2P terminals. And then, this make commuting dignified, reduce waiting times, and it eases congestion. So ngayon, marami nang pumipili ng tinatawag na 15-minute lifestyle. Siguro dito, pwede kayo mag-dorm habang nag-aaral kayo. But when you start working, I hope you and all of us choose a place to live within, 15-minute walk to everywhere. Actually, dapat pala sa developers ko to sabihin, pwede ba pag mag-design kayo ng mga syudad sa kinabukasan, ensure nyo naman na makakapaglakad kami ng 15 minutes to everywhere. So yon. Again, it might be something you would like to advocate. You can read through the slides. I mean, sino ba dito yung mga archi? Sorry, archi kasi ako. Nakalimutan kong sabihin ng umpisa. May architecture students ba dito? Engineering, wala. Anyway, in a way, baka kung hindi man kayo archi or engineering students or environmental planning students, I think mas maririnig yung boses kung mas maraming non-technical people ang magsasabing, kailangan makapaglakad tayo, kailangan nasa 15-minute city tayo. Okay. So yon, okay ba yon? Is that something that you can embrace in your lifestyle? All right. Diba? And then, okay, ito, susunod naman, redefining the good life. Tingnan natin. So we've planted over 295,000 native trees And thank you. Pinaghirapan po yan. And nurtured to more than 800 hectares of forests all over the Philippines. And we've engaged more than 17,000 volunteers over the years, and we hope you can join us in our volunteer events. And that these spaces actually help, we'd like to think, cool our cities, restore habitats, and strengthen resilience. So for us, nature should be part of daily city life, di ba? Supported by youth engagement in environmental science, volunteerism, and biodiversity programs. And I think that is, dahil sa palakpak nyo, medyo tumaba po yung puso ko. Meron na akong talagang pag-asa sa kinabukasan kasi maraming bata talaga ngayon who are highly aware of the importance of biodiversity. Okay, so ito po, maybe I can show you, may QR code kami dyan. If you're anywhere in the area, our carbon forests are in San Jose del Monte, sa may Bulacan, and also in Alaminos, Laguna. Ito yata yung pinakamalapit, it's the most convenient. Meron sa Nuvali, meron sa Pampanga, sa Alviera, meron sa Palawan, sa Cebu City, at saka sa Iloilo, at meron din po sa Davao City. So if you're anywhere in those areas, maybe you can try to visit and see how we take care of our forests together with our NGO partners who are helping nurturing these places. So yun, yeah. Ito nga sabi ko, biodiversity is for everyone, as you have shown. It doesn't matter whether you're an engineer, an architect, you're an accountant, biodiversity is actually very important for you. And I think tama, kasi puro health, health students ba kayo? Are you, there you go. O yung palang, di ba? Naintindihan nyo na why these things are very important to society. Right. Okay, ito na yung pang-apat. Redefining modernity. Ano bang modern? So yun, nung lumalaki siguro yung mga parents natin, nakiparents, ako parent pala, ang mga anak ko, I guess, actually mas matanda pa sa inyo yung anak ko Mga apo ko na yung iba sa inyo siguro if I got married earlier. Dati, and I think Mr. Hans, Mr. Chico talked about this, parang yung convenience yung hinahanap. So marami tayong single-use plastic, marami tayong patapon, no? We're in a throwaway society. But what we've done in Ayala Land is to provide opportunities for recycling in the same way the other companies are also doing. So, so what we have set up actually is now on a pilot basis are these drop-off points for clean and dry plastic. Doon kami nag-umpisa kasi plastics is one of the most significant contributors to, to ocean waste and to river waste. So, lagi naming sinasabi, if you keep them clean and dry, meaning hindi nyo siya ihahalo sa ibang basura, meron pang pwedeng gawin sa kanya. Either magiging bote siya ulit kung PET bottle siya, and then pwede rin siyang maging, in our case, construction materials. So yung makikita nyo sa taas, no, we've made pavers that are infused with plastic, parang ina-encase siya. But ideally, plastic should be recycled back into plastic. So what we've done is we've also helped other companies, small, mga SMEs, to transform them into boards. So itong company na ito, Polyalpro, is a Bulacan-based company. Gumagawa sila ng boards from the clean and dry plastics and even yung mga Tetra Pak, tawag nila beverage cartons. So it's for me, nung nakita ko to, I was so impressed. So we wanted to support them by providing them with the materials, with the raw materials, na basically itatapon lang ng ibang tao. So at least, sabi ko nga, na-reincarnate. Binigyan namin ng bagong buhay yung tinapon na plastic. And then, meron din kasi kaming logistics company, yung mga paleta na ginagamit are also made of recycled plastics. Wala dito, ito, here at the bottom, dito sa baba, what we've also started is to use rainwater harvesting solutions made from post-industrial plastic. Meaning, patapon na sana siya, pero ginawa silang parang mga tangke, para siyang Lego, and it actually helps us prevent flooding also. Kasi we retain the water first before it's released into the rivers. Para nga hindi bahain ng mga kapitbahay. So that's actually part of the design that we're also doing. And here you'll see how many tons of plastics. Dito sa aking kodigo, we've already recollected more than 33 tons or 896 kilos. This year pa lang yon. So every year we collect about that much. And then mga 260 tons or 260,000 kilos are actually used for useful materials. So this is what we call a circular design system. Yung plastic, imbis na itapon, ibabalik siya, kasi pabilog nga, babalik siya para magamit ulit. Maybe not in the same way, but actually, we provide them new life. So yun. So, yun yung mindset na kailangan baguhin din. Imbis na bibili ka, tapos itatapon mo, hanapan mo first of all, hanapan mo kung paano mo siyang gagamitin ulit, or hanapan mo kung saan mo siya pwedeng dalhin para ma-recycle siya, no matter where you are. So, yon. Okay, whether you're here, or in Makati, or in Taguig, or in Mall of Asia, you can actually choose what to do. So yon. So I guess the real question is, which mindset will you choose? What kind of city or lifestyle will it create for all of us? In Ayala Land, our purpose has always been clear: to enhance land and enrich lives for more people, and that purpose becomes real only when our communities, you, all of us, choose a culture that makes cities healthier, more vibrant, and more human. This is the future we are all building together. So thank you very much, and hope I have hope for the future because of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miss Anna. Okay, so before we move on to our next brand speaker, who wants to take home some prizes? Okay, yung mga nagmilang kasi parang ang konti, so tatlo lang kayo. Again, who wants? Gusto niyo ba mag-raffle muna tayo? Okay, yeah, that's what I like to hear. So, first of all, we have raffled away 5 winners, okay, of Ayala Land phone stands. Okay, so ganda to pag nag-aaral, di ba? Pag nagsa-study kayo, pwede nyo ilagay. So maraming salamat po kay Ayala Land para sa 5 winners natin ng phone stands. So, again, to be able to qualify, dapat nag-register. So if hindi pa kayo nag-register, by all means, do. Kasi may isa pa tayong raffle after ng talks natin for this morning, no? Okay. So, eto muna, 5 winners. Congratulations to Princess May Moog. Ikaw ba yan, Princess? Ayan, galing. Okay. William Roy Seria. Okay. I love that reaction. So, diba? Okay. Queen Shireen Inet Munzon. Parang swerte ng side na to ah. Gusto ko yon. Okay, Akisha May. Wow. Tapos, Cheltea Grace Kak. Ito talaga yung side na to. Guys, mahal kayo ng Ayala Land. Kuha rin kayo ng condo. Okay. Alright, but again, congratulations to our 5 winners. Thank you very much to Ayala Land. Next, we have 6 winners naman of Goldilocks Bit Packs. Ay, wow! May pang merienda, guys. Okay. So, ay, sorry guys, walang Jollibee. Next time na lang. Oo. Goldilocks muna. Okay. So, congratulations to Cristel Ann Quinto. Okay. Bro, parang hindi ka Cristel. Cristel ka ba? Ikaw ba yun? Yung katabi mo. Ang sweet mo naman bilang friend, no? Happy na happy ka para sa kanya. Si Cristel kasi reaction niya, yes. Pero yung katabi niya, oh my God! Di ba? Galing. Okay. Angelina Julie Azol. Ayun, congrats. Josh Carmel Estrera. Jawo Adriano. Okay. Shireen Bantay. Yan, magbantay ka ha. Okay, and Aldea Yvonne Limas. Ang swerte ng barkada nyo, no? Dami yung Goldilocks. Ang saya. Mag-share kayo. Okay, so congratulations to our 6 winners of Goldilocks Bit Packs. Next, from Steel Asia. Okay, Steel Asia was one of our speakers yesterday. They're also one of our sponsors. We're giving away 7 notebooks. Okay, so sakto, kung may exams kayo. Congratulations to Hailey Jade C, Lay Venus Isel Adena, Stella K. Arpon, Jose Pocholo Delgado, Danrian Frondoza, Shean K. Vertudazo, and Shiana May Bahaw. Or Bajao. Okay. Congratulations. Kaka-start lang ng SEM nyo, no? Kaka-start lang ba ulit? Yes. Ayun, sakto. May bagong notebook. Ayun, perfect. Okay, next. Ito, marami to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 winners of Artha Land items. Okay, so si Artha Land was also one of our speakers yesterday. They're also one of our sponsors. So maraming salamat din po kay Artha Land and kay Steel Asia kanina. So, congratulations to Alisa Angela Corpus. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wala pa akong sinasabi. Excited? Okay. Meron ba? Yep. Okay. Solamo Ramil Jr. Ayan. First time mo manalo ng raffle? Grabe yung reaction eh. No, I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. Ruiza Ann April Diestro. Cedric Justin R. Ibanez. Siya rin, first time. I love it. Okay. Kalaguan, Zaira Nicaela. Okay. Jana May Piano. Alexandra Raya Carmona. Patricia Eunice Dinapo. Zaira Gian Villaflor. Casa Ron Toby. Aisha Naomi Rebellion. Okay. Aliyah Jasmine De Leon. Alexa Nicole De Leon. Wow. Magkapatid ba kayo? Magkapatid? Ang swerte naman ng pamilya nyo. Galing. Mag-try nyo magloto. Baka manalo. Shiralyn C. De Santos. Davriel Icalina, and I think may Jasmine. Sorry, ikaw pala yung nakatag. Sorry. So ayun, those are our 15 winners. All right, congratulations. Thank you once again to Artha Land. Guys, don't worry, may raffle pa tayo mamaya, okay? So may chance pa manalo. So kaya After the morning session pa, for mornings, first half pa lang yon, may second half of raffles pa tayo. Okay, so before we move on, we have a quick video that we'd like to share with you, courtesy of Ayala Land. So if I can please ask all of you to direct your attention to the screen, let's all watch this.
Hi, I am Harold Kimanla, a former intern of the Ayala Land Davao Carbon Forest, and I am here to share with you my experience. I took up PS Biology at the University of Southeastern Philippines in Davao City as a pre-med course, fully expecting that I would someday become a medical doctor. But everything shifted during our internship. Our university partnered with the Philippine Eagle Foundation, and our batch was assigned to the Ayala Land Davao Carbon Forest, a 50-hectare conservation estate of Ayala Land Incorporated right at the heart of Davao City. Little did I know, it would spark a journey I never imagined taking. The experience was both humbling and inspiring. It showed us that restoring forests is not a simple task. From planning, nursery work, land preparation, and actual planting, all the way to maintenance and monitoring. It requires patience, teamwork, and genuine care. We learned that protecting the environment is not just the responsibility of a select few, but a shared passion that cuts across all sectors of society. At ADCF, we planted and cared for native trees, making sure that they survive. We also assisted during tree planting activities involving schools, private companies, government offices, and individuals who simply wanted to help. I truly enjoyed my time at ADCF, and I learned so much. By the end of our internship, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life. I let go of my long-held dream of becoming a medical doctor and chose to pursue a career in conservation. Today, I work at the Philippine Eagle Foundation, and I am now helping manage the Ayala Land Davao Carbon Forest. I am not sharing this with you to encourage anyone to abandon their dreams, your dreams. Instead, as we move forward in this journey toward sustainability, I hope to hear footsteps of doctors, engineers, architects, teachers, and professionals from all fields walking with us. Ayala Land is truly leading the path towards sustainability. It nurtures future conservation champions and builds a culture where caring for the environment becomes a natural part of our lives. And we're here excited to see you join us in this shared journey toward a greener future. Daghang salamat.
Again, thank you very much to Ayala Land for sharing with us your efforts on sustainability and for taking the time to be here this morning. Now, as we move on to our next brand partner, I'm sure kilala nyo rin sila. They are a healthcare network composed of one flagship complex, 4 provincial hospitals, and over 50 clinics in Metro Manila and in select provinces in the Philippines. So in 2024, the Medical City Clinic, or TMC Clinic, reinforced its reputation as a leader in primary healthcare, earning the Primary Care Provider of the Year award again. So before I welcome our speaker, we have a quick video that we'd like to share everybody to show and discuss TMC and the TMC Clinic. So please watch this. So to speak with us this morning about sustainability in healthcare, building a culture of care for people and planet, we have here with us this morning TMC's leader in sustainability direction, governance structure, and ESG performance initiatives across its hospitals and clinics. He has over 14 years of experience in sustainability and ESG management, having held leadership roles at Ernst & Young Global Delivery Services, KPMG Philippines, and Anthesis Consulting Philippines. So please welcome on stage TMC's Group Head of ESG, Mr. Alan Gabriel Carrasco.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Morning, good morning. Okay pa ba? Yes. All right, good. So just to reintroduce myself, I'm Alan Gabriel Carrasco. I am the group head for ESG. So ESG, it means environment, social governance for the whole TMC enterprise, the Medical City enterprise. Briefly, a little bit about TMC. So the Medical City is the largest healthcare network under the same brand, under a single brand in the Philippines. We have 5 hospitals, including our main hospital in Ortigas, and 4 regional hospitals, and about 72 clinics, right, across the Philippines. And siguro, to be honest din, no, kami din, we are very inspired, katulad ninyo, we are also inspired by the likes of Ayala Land, SM, kasi they are very much mature na rin in their sustainability journey. Admittedly, kami in the healthcare sector, medyo nasa start pa kami. We are in the nascent stages of our sustainability journey. But that doesn't mean to say that we are lagging. We're getting there. We're also working towards a more sustainable future. And I think in the healthcare sector, I think we are in a unique position. Kasi I heard this particular definition of what a hospital is. Ang sabi, what is a hospital? A hospital is a place where people find themselves at the most vulnerable or intimate moments of their lives. Tama ba yun? Do you agree with that? What is a sustainable hospital? Para sa amin, a sustainable hospital is a hospital with a heart, where the primary stakeholder is the human soul. So that's how we define a sustainable hospital. Okay? Now, building on that, let's start with our presentation. All right. So, let me start with something simple. Healthcare is about caring for people. Real care does not end when someone leaves the hospital. It follows them into their homes, schools, workplaces, and communities. So when we talk about sustainability in healthcare, we are talking about building a world where people, including all of you, can live healthier, safer, and better lives. Now, why should this matter to you? Bakit kailangan nating malaman to? Bakit to importante para sa atin? The environment where you grew up in, or where you grow up, influences your health more than you think, and more than any medicine you know. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the climate you live in shape your well-being every day. sustainability will also shape your future careers. Whether you enter healthcare, business, engineering, design, technology, or public service, it will become part of the work that you do. Now, you are the generation that will inherit the systems that we are building. Katulad yan ang sinabi nila ma'am from Ayala Land and si Sir from SM. Your voice, your choices, and your mindset make a real difference. Now, let us clarify what sustainability in healthcare really means. It is not about complicated policies or technical language. It simply means three things. We protect people's health. We take care of the planet that supports that health. And we prepare the next generation, kayo yun, to continue improving the system. People, planet, future. If we get these right, we are on the right track. So, caring for people by keeping the hospital safe, giving fair access to care or universal health care, and supporting healthcare workers. Caring for the environment, because clean air, safe water, and a stable climate directly affects health. In caring for you, the next generation, we're making sure healthcare system continues to function even during different challenges. Like for example, in nakaraang pandemic, we need to make sure that our healthcare systems are sustainable so that if magkaroon ng susunod na pandemic, sana naman hindi, but if it does, the system still works. Now, a sustainable healthcare system starts with caring for people. This means safe hospitals, supported healthcare workers, and communities with access to care when needed. It also means caring for your own well-being. You, the next generation of professionals, will eventually be the ones taking care of others. If we do not take care of the people now, the entire system suffers later. Now, when I was visiting one of the hospitals, isa sa mga hospitals namin, I interviewed one of the nurses. Sabi niya, sir, sometimes yung init, mas mahirap pa kaysa dun sa shift nila. Kasi minsan may mga times na mahirap i-control yung climate or mainit talaga in certain seasons. No? So, this reminded me that the environmental conditions at work affect the well-being of the people caring for us. Right? So when we improve the environment, patient care improves immediately. Also, burnout. Studies have shown that burnout in healthcare workers increases medical errors, turnover in costs, and it weakens the resilience of hospitals. Now, if we don't care for the healthcare workers, the whole system eventually breaks. So a sustainable system starts with protecting the people who protect us. Now, let's talk about the planet. Now, there is no healthy community without a healthy environment. It does not matter how advanced a hospital is. If the air is polluted, the water is unsafe, or climate-related emergencies keep disrupting lives, people will continue to get sick. Greener, cleaner, and smarter environments directly affect your health, your future families, and the kind of world that you will live in. Now, for example, after the recent typhoons, yung Typhoon Tino, Typhoon Uwan, syempre apart from the property damages. Of course, there are also health risks related to that. According to DOH, health risks spiked as flooding and infrastructure damage disrupted care access. It also reported spikes in leptospirosis and waterborne diseases in flood-affected regions. So, because of climate change, naapektuhan yung health natin. Now, this is why we talk about a culture of care. A culture of care means we care for the environment, we care for people, and we care for the communities that shape our daily lives. When these three pillars are strong, we do not only treat illness, we prevent it. We build resilience. We give people a fair chance at a healthy life. At the Medical City, we bring these pillars to life through real initiatives, through community engagement, supporting the well-being of our healthcare workers, and forming partnerships that advance sustainability. For community engagement, some of our initiatives include Hair for Hope, wherein nag-invite kami ng mga donors, ng mga volunteers na mag-donate ng hair nila for our cancer patients. We also have different medical missions. So within our hospitals, the different departments, yung cardio, neuro, oncology, and so on and so forth. Mga different departments, meron silang kanya-kanyang mga medical missions that they conduct with different partner communities. And then meron din, we also have Brigada Eskwela, where we teach hand hygiene and prevention of seasonal diseases, and so on and so forth. What's unique about the medical sector, what's unique about the healthcare sector is that we are in a position wherein we directly affect our different communities where we are located. So, sa mga hospitals namin in different regions, sa Iloilo, sa Pangasinan, sa Clark, we have our own medical missions and community outreach programs. And then employee engagement, we have our wellness drives for mental health awareness and skills training programs for all of our employees. And then for sustainable partnerships, we partner with different industry players, NGOs, local governments, international organizations on different sustainable initiative programs like food waste project, our waste electronic devices project, and so on and so forth. Now, let's focus on you. Sustainability is not just a corporate or government responsibility. It begins with people, especially young people, choosing better habits, asking better questions, and supporting better systems. This can start with simple actions like managing waste, conserving energy, joining community work, carrying sustainable thinking innovation, and also into your careers. Your generation already challenges the norms. Speak up and drive innovation. That energy is exactly what sustainability needs. So let me close with this. Building a healthier future is not about one major breakthrough. It is about consistent decisions, small ones today and bigger ones as you move forward in your careers. Choose to care for people. Choose to care for your community. Choose to care for the planet that gives us life. Your actions today and your leadership tomorrow will help create a future that is healthier, safer, and more sustainable. And that future begins with you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Alan. So we still have a lot more to learn, but we're coming down now to our last brand speaker for this morning. So our next speaker is actually from a real estate company known for its prime locations, proactive property management, thriving residential communities, and good investment value. So Torre Lorenzo Development Corporation demonstrated its commitment to social responsibility by focusing on education, environment, and community welfare. Employee volunteers supported Brigada Escuela and donated school supplies in both Manila and Davao. To tell us how TLDC is actively working toward a measurable and recognizable standard of environmental responsibility that directly benefits future generations, we have today an MBA graduate from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania with a focus on real estate and entrepreneurship. So let's all welcome TLDC Director of Leisure and Business Development, Ms. Monica Lorenzo.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. I hope you've been as engaged with all the speakers over yesterday and today. Very interesting things that were being shared across different industries. So I'm here today on behalf of Torre Lorenzo Development Corporation. I'll quickly introduce the company for some of you who might not be as familiar with their projects, because we are a boutique real estate developer. That means we are very choiceful about the projects that we do. We don't have any sites to be the biggest, most prolific developer in the country, but when we choose to build, whether it be condos or hotels, we're very, very intentional about the properties that we choose to develop. So Torre Lorenzo, or TLDC, we actually got our start building premium student residences. So I don't know if you're familiar along España, off España actually, on Galicia, we have Torre Lorenzo Central, which is our project here in this area, and we're actually putting up another student residence on Reten Corner San Anton called Vertica. So what we do, what we started with was we built 5-star what is condos for students. So elevated from a dorm, these are safe, secure, premium residences where parents are happy to leave their kids when they go off to school. So from there, we've expanded our portfolio, and now we don't just cater to students. We have a growing hospitality, a growing hotel portfolio. We have projects catered to OFWs, projects catered to investors, and in the 25 years that the company has been around, we've expanded beyond just Manila. We are now in Lipa, we are in Davao, and we're working towards other areas as well. So for today, I think maybe more than just talk about what the company does as a whole, I wanted to zoom in on one of our resort projects, because I think that really is the flagship of sustainability for Torre Lorenzo. So just quick snapshot, we do hotels, I guess a bit more of the fun side of the job where you're talking about tourism, you're talking about travel, and it's one of the sides of our business, sides of our portfolio where you can really start to see sustainability happen on the day-to-day basis. So we started our hotel journey with Davao actually. We have a good chunk of our business in Mindanao. And in Davao, we started with the Dusit Tani Residences Davao, Dusit D2 Hotel, and Dusit Tani Lubi Plantation. So we have 3 Dusit hotels in Davao. In Manila, we have Ascot Life, which is located closer to Robinson's Manila. And we are opening 2 more hotels. So that's Duset Princess in Lipa, which is opening next year, and Crest Suites, also located in Davao. So all in all, our hotel portfolio in the next 5 years has about 900 hotel rooms. But for today, I actually want to talk about our island resort, which is Dusetani Lubi Plantation. This island is about 86 hectares. It's a whole island, and it's located in the province of Davao de Oro, formerly known as Compostela Valley. They rebranded about 6 years ago. As you can see, it's a whole island. It was untouched. There was nothing on there. And when we started to conceptualize and figure out what we were going to build there, we really had to start from scratch. The entire island had nothing on it. It used to be a coconut plantation, and I don't know if there are any of you who are Bisaya. Lubi actually means coconut. So that's the origin of the name. It used to be a coconut plantation, but because of disease and there was nothing on there, the plantation didn't work. So we were left with an island with nothing on it. And so that started the discussion, okay, if we want to put a resort there, if we want to turn this into a 5-star luxury destination, we have to build it right. And in this case, building it right meant building it sustainably. So for today, just wanted to share a little bit of what we've done. It's a lot of little initiatives that we put together as a company, that we put together as a hotel. And you can sort of see that even in different ways, in different aspects of your business, of your job, of how you think of different projects, you can actually integrate sustainability. And from there, you're actually able to create and build something sustainable from the ground up. So there's kind of 3 things that I'm going to go into today just to really show how we at Dusetani Lubi Plantation show sustainability. A lot of these, I can look back and say, okay, we did this pala, it's sustainable. But in reality, when you're doing things, and I think that's something that's more common with the younger generation, that you're not thinking of it as sustainable first. You're thinking of it because it's the right thing to do. And the right thing just happens to be sustainability. So the first thing is when we came up really thinking about the island and how we were going to put a 5-star international brand resort in the middle of nowhere, was really protecting, how do we protect our resources? So this photo of these dolphins is not AI generated, it's an actual photo of the dolphins who live around the island. The Davao Gulf, if you're not familiar, actually has some of the most beautiful and diverse marine life in the country, but no one knows it. Because over the years, it's been used as shipping lanes for fishing, coral bleaching, dynamite fishing as well. So a lot of what has been there has already been destroyed. So one of the very, very first things we did around the island was to protect it, working together with the DENR to actually designate the island as a coral sanctuary. So 10 meters out from the shoreline, you can't fish. We cannot build anything over the water. And we did this, I think, more than 15 years ago. So from then, this is an actual photo of now what's on the island. All the corals are back, all the fish are back. You can actually, the water is clear. When you look straight down, you can see all the giant clams at Tacloban. We have corals, clownfish, seahorses. We even have bigger marine animals. So there's pawikans, whales, whale sharks, dugongs, dolphins, all around because you make the active effort very early on to protect the waters and to stop any further damage. Second, we also, like I mentioned, we also have hawksbill turtles. So this is an actual photo of some of our turtle releases. when you're thinking about sustainability, you want to protect what's already there. And that means trading off some other things. So in order to have beaches that turtles want to come up to, we realized we cannot make the beach very fine sand. We can't dolomite the beach because the turtles are not going to want to come back. And so when people come on the island, they see some of our beaches and they're like, oh, but ang mabato, I can't swim there, my feet are gonna get cut, I need aqua socks. The simple explanation is you're not the priority, it's these guys. If we want them to come back, we have to make sure that the rocks are still there, that they're still able to travel, because one fun fact, one interesting thing about these sea turtles, where they are born, they come back 30, 40 years later to lay their eggs. So it's a cycle. You're thinking about it not just for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You're actually thinking of it for the next generation of these animals. So because of that, we get several turtle nests a year, and each nest has about 100 eggs. So you're taking care of these animals, and these are endangered species. You're protecting them so that they continue to thrive and have the best chance of survival. Other things we did on the island, erosion, and I'm sure you all know about what global warming and climate change is doing to our beaches and to our islands. Erosion is a huge problem. So if you're looking at nature and you're thinking, okay, what can we do? You have to plant the right trees. You can't just build a wall. You can't just flood control nature. Nature actually has the solutions for it. So you're looking at planting mangroves, you're looking at what the right trees to protect the shorelines, and because of that, the erosion, the damage is not as bad as it used to be. And similarly as well, when you're talking about what you're putting on the island, you're putting plants that actually survive. One very common thing, especially in hotels, especially in resorts, is you see something that they do in the Caribbean, you see something that they do in Bali, you see something they do in the Maldives, but in reality, those plants that they have there are not going to survive in the Philippines. They're not going to survive on your specific island. So you have to look and see, okay, what's native, what's indigenous, and with the right creativity and the right eye, you can actually make them look world class. So these are some of the plants that we have, and these just, as long as you have the right landscaping team who knows what to do, it actually becomes of international 5-star quality. The second thing that we did on the island in terms of sustainability was really, how do you minimize your impact? How do you minimize your footprint? Because this island was completely off the grid, meaning wala siyang kuryente, wala siyang water source from the mainland, walang internet. So how do you do it in a way that you protect the island as is and keep it the same way for the rest of the resort's life and for the rest of the people who come to visit? So first, that was figuring out that actually the best way to do to source power is through solar. Davao does not get hit by typhoons. Typically, you get one major typhoon every 10 years and it's a big freak accident. But they get sun every day, they get a little bit of rain every day. So as long as you're able to harness that power, we use it to supply 60% of our resort's energy. So because of that, it's completely quiet, you don't hear anything, and the sun does all of the work. The second thing is, since the island also had no water, it was, how do we maximize the natural rainfall over Mindanao every day and use that to supply the island's water? It was going to cost hundreds of millions to build an underground pipe to get water from, the main water supplier in the mainland. So on the island, you actually have rain, and we're lucky that we have groundwater. So because of that, every time it rains, it collects, it seeps back down into the island's natural aquifer. And because of that, we're able to pump out that water, treat it, and use it for our guest rooms and even our bottled water. But because of that, in order to do that, you have to make sure that the way you design your resort, the way you design your surroundings, everything had to be open space, meaning bawal concrete. So all of our roads are actually made out of sand, because with the sand, the water seeps back down into the ground. We have lots of open fields. Even our buildings are elevated because the water will eventually seep back down into the ground. Other little things that we've tried to do for sustainability and integrate them into our guest rooms is our heat recovery system. How many of you have seen something like this? Correct, 0. Because this technology, actually, we saw this in the Maldives, in the resorts there, where they take the hot air that comes out of your aircon and use that to heat the hot water for your shower. So, hindi na kailangan ng separate water heater because your split-type aircon, the hot air comes out and the technology just wraps the hot air around your water tank and supplies the hot water. So, as long as your aircon is on, mainit yung tubig. And since it's a hotel, no one ever turns off the aircon because you're not paying for the kuryente. Because of this, so our hot water basically costs 0. And I know for all of us with our single or multi-point water heater, we know how much it costs to get hot water in our bathrooms every day. So we're able to do that at scale with this technology, which we have in every single guest room. The funny thing is, this technology, while it did not exist in hotels or residential condos or houses, it's been in the Philippines this whole time being used by restaurants. So when we talk to the supplier, apparently you have the likes of Jollibee who've been using this for a very long time. It just never occurred to anyone to put it for a hotel or to put it for a condo. Last thing, I mentioned this briefly also, our water is very clean since it comes from the groundwater. So we have our own water bottling facility to minimize single-use plastic. So we treat our water ourselves so it becomes agua vida level. And this is what we do for all our guests. So we minimize plastic wherever we can. The last thing, and I think this is something very, very close to my heart, is when we're talking about sustainability, we can't ignore the people who make it happen. And for us, that's not just our guests, that's not just our employees, it's actually the community where we find ourselves in. So first, really when you're talking sustainability this was a province that never had any hotel or resort. There still is no Jollibee in the town that we're at. There's one 7-Eleven. So what we've done and really to help invigorate the community was really, one, prioritize employing local. So 70% of our employees come from the nearby vicinity, so the nearest barangays and towns. And it's amazing to see how far they can go given the right training, given the right brand exposure, that it sometimes hurts when you train your people, when you train your staff, when you train them to be of international quality, then suddenly one day they come up and say, "Ma'am, sorry, alis na ako, pupunta na ako sa Four Seasons sa Macau." I can't stop them when the opportunities of moving and pursuing a great career in the hospitality industry are unparalleled. The second thing that we've done specifically for Lubi is, as a side project, we work together to actually introduce art on the island. So these are like very, very big, large-scale art installations where we brought in 9 modern Filipino artists who've done work all around the world. We brought them to Lubi and said, okay, you can do anything you want on the island as long as you use materials that are already on the island, whether that be natural materials or trash that they want to upcycle. And then the second part of the brief was work with the community, show them what they can do, introduce them to maybe art, maybe something that they can pursue in the future. So this is just one example of one of the installations. This is working together with the Barangay Pindasan Women's Group. So these are the wives basically of our employees. They work together with 2 artists, Wawi Navarosa and Ling Kisimbing Ramelo, to create this installation, which is called Everywhere There You Are. So it's 45 meters long, really, really big, really, really neon. And this was about 30 women working together with the artists to actually hand tie this cloth to create this firewall, this huge welcome sign that we now invites guests onto the island. So, in summary, that's a lot of little things that we've done at Lusitani Lubi to push sustainability forward. When we conceptualized this island, when we thought of what to do for this resort, it was never really the intention to be a sustainable resort. It was really, we're doing things because it's the right thing to do and it makes business sense. When, especially like, we come from a very business-minded standpoint. It's not to win awards for sustainability. It's not to get the green seal of approval on TripAdvisor or Booking.com. It's actually because it's the right thing to do, and as a business, it's the one that makes the most financial sense. So we're not doing sustainability just for the sake of doing it, but because we know it helps our sales, it helps also our bottom line, it helps our profits. And that's, I think, maybe one very practical and not so spoken thing that we try to do about sustainability. We're not doing it to win all the accolades, but because it actually helps the community, it helps nature, it helps the environment, and it helps the business. I'm also the first to say that we are not the most unique. We're not the first mover when it comes to all of this. I'm very proud to say we've copied a lot of and gotten a lot of inspiration from all over the world. But when you're thinking about sustainability, there's so many solutions out there. There are many other countries, many other industries that have actually started these things, and it's just a matter of looking at it from your own work, your own circumstance, and saying, okay, this is what I can take from the US, this is what I can take from China, this is what I can take from the fast food industry, and applying it to where you are. So I think it was mentioned earlier, a lot of you are medical students, and you're here sitting to talks from hotels, from real estate developers, from construction. Maybe some of these things don't seem like they can apply in your specific context, but think a little bit deeper. There are many little ideas that you can piece together and put and practice eventually as you build your careers. So with that, I hope you learned something new today, and hopefully you'll be able to see how you can build sustainability in your own ways. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Monica, for sharing with us the sustainability efforts of Torre Lorenzo. So before we move on to our panel discussion, so we'll bring back all of our brand speakers on stage in just a bit. But before we do that, we would like to actually give a quick shout out to one of our brand sponsors also. We have L'Oreal. So can we get a quick round of applause for L'Oreal? Okay. Nung sinabi ko lang yung L'Oreal, may nakita akong gumanon di ba? Galing. Oo, instant brand recognition. Siguro we were familiar naman with L'Oreal. I'm sure the girls, yes, kasi mahaba ng hair eh. Ayan. So, aside from their commitment to beauty, L'Oreal also focuses on 3 key areas: the planet, the people, and their products. So with multiple initiatives and day-to-day actions to achieve their goals. So that being said, I'd like to direct your attention to the screen for a quick video from our brand partner, L'Oreal.
Beauty is a powerful force that moves us. That's why at L'Oréal Group, we create the beauty that uses 85% PET plastic packaging from recycled sources. 65% of our ingredients that are bio-based or derived from abundant minerals. And we're using or recycling 100% of our industrial water by 2030. At L'Oréal Group, we create the beauty that moves the world.
Ayan. So another round of applause, please, for L'Oreal. Thank you so much for your continued support of the Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum. So, malay natin, baka may pa-premyo mamaya galing kay L'Oreal. We'll see. All right. But that said, as we are setting up our chairs now for our panel discussion, we'd like to call back on stage our brand speakers. So can we please call again Ms. Ana Gonzalez, Mr. Alan Carrasco, Ms. Monica Lorenzo, and of course to join as well Mr. Philip Konying. If we can have everyone back on stage for our panel discussion this morning. All right, thank you. Ms. Monica, Sir Alan, let's have a seat. Okay. Sige. Right? And aside from our brand speakers, we also have a representative from the National University, one of your very own. So let me introduce Professor Charles Elepano, the Assistant Professor from the Institute of General Education, College of Education, Arts and Science. Hello, Sir Charles. Please grab a seat. Join us. Okay. Okay na, kuya. Thank you. Yes. I think just one more, right? Miss Anne? Okay, there we go. Miss Anne, have a seat. All right. Okay, let me just put that there. All right. So, again, thank you very much to our brand speakers for being here with us this morning. So to kick things off, we were actually able to collect a few questions from the audience and from some of the students from NU. And we'll also be opening the floor to questions in a little bit, but just to get the conversation going. So we've been talking a lot about sustainability, and over the last 2 days, we've seen it from different angles, from different industries, from different disciplines. But siguro, is there a common misconception that people have about sustainability that for yourselves you'd like to correct? And what would that be, and how can we correct that misconception? So if anyone wants to take the question first, Ms. Anna, would you like to?
All right. The first misconception is that sustainability or corporate sustainability is CSR. I just might like to make a distinction. CSR is corporate social responsibility, usually equated with philanthropy, donations. But corporate sustainability is about embedding sustainable practices into the business itself. So let me give an example. Philanthropy is when you, for example, there's a disaster. You give without expecting anything back. And that is philanthropy, magdo-donate ka. And it's necessary during times of disasters. Kasi talagang, especially, beep-beep, kung hindi nagagawa ng gobyerno lahat ng kanyang kailangan gawin. So, corporates step in. Okay, so what is the difference between that and sustainability naman? Sustainability is sometimes called doing good, doing the right thing, but doing the right thing in your business itself. So, kung may disaster, dapat hindi ang dahilan ng sakuna at disaster ay yung corporations. Diba? And that's why we're all doing what we can, not to add to any destruction, that might happen as a result of our businesses. As developers, we do our best not to cut and fill, unnecessarily. We plant trees. We make sure that if ever we can do it, hindi na kami magpuputol ng puno. Hindi na kami magsisira para hindi kami maging dahilan ng disaster. So, there's a difference, di ba? So, parang hindi libre, parang hindi donors lang. So, yeah.
So it's really more about embedding parang everyday practices that in the business to make sure that it's not just a one-off thing.
Right, or it's prevention. I mean, using a medic.
Yes.
It's prevention rather than the cure. Yun. So,
All right. Thank you, Miss Anna. Sir Alan?
Yes.
May fans ka, ma'am.
Right. Siguro sa akin, for me, one misconception, probably, I think it has been touched upon na kanina, no? That sustainability is more related to, mostly related to environment lang. Sustainability is also present in the relationships, in the social aspect of what we do. So, like for example, for us at TMC, we also look into the sustainability of our healthcare access. So, we also look into how we treat our patients, especially with the DEI of it all, the diversity, equity, inclusion. We also look into bioethics, the ethics of patient care. So it's going to be a very elaborate discussion if we explain everything. But again, the main point, sustainability is not just about saving the environment. It's a big part of it. It's an important part of it, but it's not just about saving the environment.
All right, thank you. Ms. Monica.
I think maybe one misconception about sustainability is that it always has to be the fanciest, most up-to-date, very expensive technology that's the right way to do things. Yes, there are great advancements, but actually some of the most sustainable things don't require any technology at all. Just look, we've survived this long as a species, and nature has actually survived this long. So there are ways, just by talking to the communities, talking to those who've actually been there longer when you come in, they can give you the solutions, and you don't need to introduce the latest high-tech thing to get it done. So there are ways to do things in a more resourceful way, and sometimes these are even cheaper ways to do things. You just have to be willing to ask the right questions.
Thank you. So I think I think just to summarize, it really comes down to when we think of sustainability, it's essentially, kaya ba natin ulitin? Is it something that we can do again and again, di ba? Now, with the example, if you cut down all the trees and you don't grow anything back, at some point, madideplete siya. So when you think of sustainability, you can kind of laymanize it. If what am I doing is what I'm doing something that can be done again and again and again. And I think if you start small like that, that's when you realize na kaya ko pala, right? It's replicable.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question to some of the speakers here, because from the talk that they were having earlier today, what came to mind to me was like sustainable manpower requirements. Because both in the hospital healthcare industry and like what Monica was just talking about, how you train people and then they leave to have better opportunities abroad. What can we do to alleviate that situation, or is that something that's even realistically something we can address? You especially, because I know plenty of the kids.
We have a lot of medical students
many of the
here
kids
also.
Many of the kids here, I know the dream is to work abroad.
Yeah.
inevitably, no? So you spend a lot of time and resource training them, or they spend their education here, but the dream is to work abroad.
Yeah, I think from that, I think I can think of two approaches. No? One is from the company itself, from the healthcare institution itself. Better, of course, better benefits for the employees would be one approach, but I don't think it's not just one. I think it should be a systemic approach. It's not just the private sector, not just the healthcare sector should be who's willing to put in the effort, but it should be whole of government approach na rin. I think if we are to look at it from a perspective of why do, not just from the healthcare worker perspective, a lot of different other Filipinos as well are also aiming jobs outside, abroad. So from that perspective, I think it should be a whole of government approach, not just in tandem with, the private sector, with the different institutions that are offering, or from the different employers as well.
For hospitality naman.
I think on the hospitality industry, my approach, or the way I think about it, is take that opportunity abroad, get the experience, learn from some of the best in the world, but come back. Come back when you're more senior so you can train the next generation. Because that way you bring the experience from outside, you bring everything you've learned seeing the world, and you're able to come back and teach and to train and to become a great manager and a great leader. And I think that's what we actually need more of. So I don't want to stop anyone from pursuing that opportunity elsewhere, but know that there are 116-ish million Filipinos waiting back here to be able to grab the same opportunity. So again, with sustainability, it's all very cyclical, so do it that way.
And I'd like to throw it out for you to comment, especially from Medical City, because what don't we turn it around? Why don't we train the nurses from abroad here? Diba? Because a lot of the people have said, if you took away all the Filipino nurses in the U.S. healthcare system, it'd be crippled. So why don't you send the U.S. American nurses to train here in the Philippines?
But that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely. I think, of course, I do believe Filipino nurses are the best in the world. I really do believe that. So, yeah, I think that's a good learning opportunity for
because we talk about
for the healthcare sector.
Medical tourism, but it could also be medical education, as tourism, diba? I don't know.
Yeah. Professor Charles, is there anything you'd like to, lalo na from your experience working directly with the students, teaching them, anything that you'd like to ask our panelists this morning?
Okay. Before asking a question, I would just like to grab this opportunity also to say thank you to the Manila Bulletin, because I am just amazed that there is an existence of the Junior Journalist Program, which is I truly appreciate as an educator, since nalaman namin na we have some kakampi, in terms of shaping the next generations. And of course, my next question is, as a science faculty naman po, currently teaching science, technology, and society, we are putting emphasis that those three variables are interconnected with each other. And then, meaning to say, if they are interconnected with each other, ibig sabihin po, the scientific knowledge and even the technological advancement are not happening out of nowhere. Meaning to say, it is always leading towards to the needs of the community. So my question po is about on how you are giving assurance that, of course, there is a risk assessment wherein you are going to weigh the benefits and then the risk. So my question is, how are you making sure that in such innovations, the benefits are outweighing the risk? rather than the other way around?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, first of all, siguro I would say that, again, part of yung misconceptions of sustainability. The reason why we are actually having sustainable practices is as a service to society, diba? We protect the environment because it protects us. So it's not entirely selfish, but it's about understanding how we connect with the environment. So as to your question, paano ba kaming nagre-risk assessment to make sure that the solutions that we provide does not create more problems? I guess, no? Oo, marami ako naiisip ngayon. But siguro I'll start with like a more high-level discussion on that, no? So the first principle is, ang una mong tatanungin, reversible ba yung gagawin mo? So for example, bumabaha. Tapos, ang solusyon mo, hanap ka ng solusyon. Lalagyan mo ba siya ng semento? Pag nilagyan mo ng semento, pagpasok ng tubig, hindi makakalabas. That's a seawall. So ngayon, ang susunod mong tatanungin is, part of the risk assessment is then observing how nature works. Okay? And then designing according to how nature behaves. So kung yung tubig pumapasok at lumalabas, gagawa ka ngayon hindi ka gagawa ng seawall agad. Gagawin mo muna, you're going to try to come up with low-impact solutions. So that's your first. And then, kung hindi yun nag-work, then you move, to other kinds of technologies. So parang to make a long story short, hindi siya one-time, big-time na solusyon. You have to, kasi nga the Philippines is really, I don't know, how do I describe it? It's not like other countries na nagsisettle na yung geology natin. Diba? Nag-earthquake tayo halos araw-araw, bumabagyo tayo. We need to observe how nature works. So, as long as you have the data or the observations on how water behaves, where it goes, how high, how low, until you have data over time, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, this is the absolute solution. So yon. So one, again, to summarize, one is reversible ba itong gagawin namin? Kung meron siyang mali. Number two, observe how it works. Be ready to be agile. And parang shift mo, sige, this isn't working. Let's try another solution. Of course, may kamahalan yung iba dyan, di ba? Pero you're actually you're preparing for parang gumastos ka na ngayon kaysa sa gumastos ka later on. So yon. That's it muna.
I would definitely agree with Ma'am Anna. Everything that she said. I'd also, because sustainability is not a one solution fits all kind of thing. I would just like to add lang din yung thought of, or yung, what do you call this? Yung idea of long-term value. So, pagdating kasi sa sustainability, hindi mo kita agad yung ROI. For most solutions, for most initiatives, hindi agad-agad yung ROI. It's more of a long-term value because, again, sustainability is a journey. Alam na yan nila ma'am sa more mature sustainability programs. It's a long-term journey wherein yung benefits, yung value of what we're doing is only appreciated more as time goes by. So mas nakikita mo yung importance ng mga initiatives mo later, much more later.
I think just kind of to wrap and just I agree with everything that's been said so far, but when you're thinking of weighing the benefits versus the risks or the costs, as long as you are creative with us, you can always make the benefit outweigh the cost. So even before you do that, it has to be very clear what your priorities are. And then that's how you weight the benefits versus the cost. Because if you just put it on ChatGPT, it will generate 100 different answers for you, but some of those are more valuable than others. So you have to know what is important. And when you're thinking about it from a business perspective, it's okay. What's important to us is financial stability, taking care of our environment, and you list all of those things down. And then on the per project basis, you can associate what the corresponding benefits or costs towards that. And from there, you can actually properly assess. So it's not just coming up with a laundry list of, okay, who can write down the most benefits just so we can justify to the boss na it's going to work, but actually holding that versus what the company's priorities are, what your team priorities are, and in that way you're able to make a more sound decision for the business.
All right, thank you. Before we carry on, I'd like to take this opportunity now to open up the floor to questions. Maybe we can get some questions from our students. So if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask our panelists, yung mga magagandang tanong, hindi lang yung nag-almusal na ba kayo, kamusta yung traffic, wag naman ganon. So can I get a show of hands if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask for our panelists?
Yeah, and take advantage of this opportunity because they're not going to be here tomorrow.
Come on, guys. Yung mga may questions, sasali sa raffle. Anyone? Oh, may automatic raffle prize daw kung manalo. Auto win.
There's somebody there in the back.
There, here we go.
Somebody in the back. One brave soul.
Hi, sir. Can we get your name and then your question?
My name is Chaster Humarang. I'm from SED 251 po. Ayan. Good morning po to our panelists. Good day and to everyone here. My question is, aside from this collaborative event that aims for sustainability or advocating and empowering the next generation for sustainability in our country or maybe in the smallest areas such as schools, as you are here now, you are collaborating to share the great minds or your ideas. As if you are gonna have a big project po, like kayo po as a whole, you're gonna collaborate, what would it be? Ano po yung pwedeng mangyari? Ano po yung project na to, it aims for sustainability? Like, you guys are from specific fields, different fields. For example, buildings, infrastructures that aims for sustainability, for healthcare, and for sometimes, I think if I remember correctly, cosmetics. What would your project be? Ano po yung big project na sa tingin nyo might not work in one click, but will be the great project that will aspire for that sustainability that we all are advocating for? Yun po yung question.
Bigat naman ng question mo.
Thank you so much.
So you want
Miss Universe.
you want an answer besides overhaul the DPWH, ganun?
Parang wala na pong isasagot ang DPWH. Kasi tayo na po yung sasagot nun.
Okay, I think I can share. With any industry, your ideal project is you're building something from scratch. Meaning, if, I don't know, it's a city where you're doing everything so you can build things the right way, or in some hypothetical universe where we move to outer space and build something from scratch, that's the dream project because you're able to do things the right way and you don't have to correct any of the other mistakes that have already been done. So in, kind of looking at least who's here in the panel, you're dealing with education, you're dealing with real estate development, you're dealing with hospitality, you're dealing with healthcare. And the ideal really is that your dream project is, okay, what will it take to build a city doing things the right way, no restrictions, and not having to rectify the sins of the past. I think that's the ideal, that's the dream, but what makes the work that we do challenging is you're dealing with many external factors. This country is not the easiest to work in, and I'm going to be very transparent in saying that. But coming from the private sector, you just have to think, okay, what can we do? What kind of impact can we make? And how can we work with the government? How can we work with the community? How can we work with the youth to make something happen? So, you know, in a kind of like roundabout way of saying, in an ideal world, the dream project, we do something from scratch, build a whole city, build a whole country. But we know that's not the case. So you have to work with the external circumstances to actually make better the future. Today is admittedly has its challenges, but if you're kind of looking at what's next, it's choosing which battles to fight, choosing which areas to prioritize, and from there, you know, hopefully you build a better nation and a better country for the next generation.
And that's your generation. Kayo yun. Kayo yun.
Any other panelists would like to add? Yes, Ms. Anna?
Okay. My ideal project is, well, I agree with you, no? The architect ako eh. I'd love to have a clean slate, tabula rasa. However, my dream project is kung merong nang nakatayo, there is such a thing called ecological restoration. You look it up, Google nyo yan. There is actually a practice called daylighting rivers. So, kunyari, natabunan na. And this has been done in other countries already. I can think of Korea, parts of Thailand, parts of Taiwan. Yung mga sinementohan na riverways. Kasi dati nga akala ng mga tao, ng mga engineers, that the best way to deal with flood is just to cement things over. So in Singapore, for example, there is a place there where they tore down parang river walls made of concrete and then made another, binalik nila yung riverway na nandoon. It's ang Myeokyo Park, Bishan Park. And then, siguro kahapon, if you were here, Steel Asia was your speaker. Steel Asia recycles steel. Now we're working with other companies, smaller companies, who are now trying to recycle debris, concrete debris, and transform them into sand again, or sand substitutes. Para nga naman we don't quarry anymore. Kasi to make gravel and sand, we have to quarry and gigibay natin talagang bundok. So you think circular, that's my dream project. If we have an area where we can all cooperate, you can build a new hotel. Kasi gano'n naman talaga kami sa Ayala Land. In fact, you know, we have other brands within Ayala Land. There's an SM in Makati, which is part of our area. May Dusitani, may iba't ibang developers within our developments. So, yun yung dream project. You know, if everyone can agree, okay, there was a river here, or there used to be a waterway, or this used to be a park, or not a park, this used to be a forest, let's restore it together. We're actually working. And it's not a dream pala, kasi we're already doing that. We have a forest which is also being cared for by another company, not necessarily an Ayala Corp member, but another company which is medyo not exactly competitor namin. Yeah, competitor ng iba namin sister companies.
Not exactly, kasi walang competition yung Ayala Land. No?
Hindi, kami, we work with everyone. Yun na lang yung yung tagline. So yun.
Ganda ng collaboration. Ayun. Okay, Sir Alan.
Siguro sa akin last, very simple lang. Siguro for me, yung maayos na universal healthcare for all. Like sa ibang mga bansa kasi, di ba, like in Europe, kapag nagkasakit ka, libre lahat. Wala kang babayaran. Kasi yung taxes mo napupunta sa, di ba? So, it would be an ideal project, an ideal system for us here in the Philippines. Sana, hopefully.
Yeah, because here in the Philippines, I don't know if you want to share the information, out-of-pocket expense is still as high as what? More than 50%?
More than 50%, yes.
More than 50%.
Yes.
So in other countries, it's down to like 8 or 9% ang out-of-pocket nyo because you're paying taxes. When you go in for a hospital or service, you only pay about 9% of the bill. Whereas here in the Philippines, it's more than 50% pa rin.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for that question. All right, I think we have one more. Sir, join me please. Just give your name and then your question.
My name is Kelvin Raynor Sevilla Prado from Paul 242. So, my pinaka-question ko po is, how can we balance economic growth with environmental protection and social well-being to achieve true sustainability? Kasi notorious sa mga Philippine companies and marami din sa mga Pilipino na hindi na uso ang concept of sustainability dahil sa kahirapan. So yun po ang pinaka-question ko po.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd just like to point out, though, a lot of people say, how can we talk sustainability in a country where most of the people are below the poverty line? But the truth is, they're also the most vulnerable. Whenever there are disasters, whenever there are particular instances that happen, and that's where sustainability is trying to forge a solution. So I don't think it's right to think na, di ba, dahil yung below the poverty line tayo, we don't have time to think about sustainability. It's in fact them who are the most affected. So I don't know, what else you'd like to say?
Siguro, just to add to that din po, no? Siguro, looking sustainability from a lens of resource efficiency. So, if we are efficient in our consumption of our natural resources, that is definitely sustainability. It would definitely may cost savings tayo dyan. Meron tayo dyan, apart from cost savings, meron ding material optimization. So, from a perspective of siguro not just looking at sustainability as another siguro expenditure, but more of an investment.
Sige, magandang tanong ho yan. Sige, Tagalogin natin ang ibig sabihin ng sustainability, no? Ito ay tuloy-tuloy na pagsulong, di ba? Tuloy-tuloy na buhay. It's a pagpapatuloy ng buhay. Development, ano nga ba sa Tagalog ang development? Pag-unlad, di ba? Tuloy-tuloy na pag-unlad. Okay. Yun yung mindset na ine-embrace na ng maraming korporasyon sa Pilipinas. So, I'll just touch on yung notorious yung corporation. So, siguro ang aking interpretation doon, ang tingin ninyo, evil lang corporations. Pero pag tingnan ninyo kung saan pumupunta ang mga korporasyon sa Pilipinas, ang pag-iisip na pinanggagalingan ng ginagawa ng mga korporasyon sa Pilipinas, kung bakit sila pupunta sa sustainability, ay kasi gusto nila magkaroon ng pagsulong yung ekonomiya. Ano yung ekonomiya, di ba? Nagbibigay ng trabaho itong mga korporasyon, gusto niyang ituloy-tuloy yung kanyang pag-unlad at pag-operate. Kung hindi pinoprotektahan halimbawa ng isang korporasyon ang kalikasan, sa tingin mo may kinabukasan pa silang gagamitin, no? May kinabukasan pa ba para sa mga tao? So, okay, so babalikan ko ngayon. How does sustainability help then with job creation? Kapag kami kasi, naprotektahan namin yung kalikasan, kailangan namin ng mga taong may kakayanan na tumulong sa protekta ng kalikasan. Kanina may intern, yung intern ng Philippine Eagle Foundation na nagsalita on behalf of us, naging trabaho niya yung pagprotekta ng kagubatan. Trabaho yon. It's a real job. Hindi siya job na parang volunteer lang. Diba? That's job creation. So yung sustainability, habang naghahanap ka ng bagong paraan, as you look for new solutions to problems, you're actually, how do you call this? You're actually creating new jobs for the youth. So, kasi tayo laging iniisip natin yung jobs, ay yung kung ano yung nakasanayan na natin dati di ba? You're going to be an engineer for roads, for bridges. Why can't you be an engineer for restoring forests? Why can't you be an engineer to work on rainwater harvesting? Why can't you be an engineer for eco-efficiency, di ba? So if you think about it, this trend for sustainability is actually going to create new jobs. Merong bagong trabaho sa kinabukasan na magmumula dito sa direksyon na ito. So, in a way, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang business. Kasi ayaw naman natin mawala yung business eh. Tingnan nyo, magsara lahat ng korporasyon dito ngayon. Sa tingin nyo, may magbabayad ng taxes. Sa tingin ba natin, ang mangyayari talaga, alis na lang tayo ng bansa. Pero since nandito pa rin itong mga businesses na ito, ibig sabihin, there is a group of companies in the Philippines that care enough about the country to make sure that future generations actually have jobs. There's a future for our environment. There's a future for our society. So yun yung pinakaibig sabihin ng sustainability. So yun po. Sana makatulong.
All right, thank you very much. I think just one last question. We had one last question, and then that will wrap up our Q&A session. Okay, so this will be our last question for this morning.
Hello po. I'm Famery D. Ariola po from Sy 243 po. So actually po yung question ko po is somewhat connected po sa previous question po, but it is more of sa business po kasi po, di ba, syempre po, very important din po yung profit kasi po, paano po lalago yung business kung wala pong profit? So, how do you convince po stakeholders that spending money on sustainability is worth it even when they only care about profits? Kasi po, like po sabi niyo po kanina na kung magde-deteriorate po yung country natin, san po, paano po lalago yung mga business? Pero po kasi nakikita po natin sa government na kahit naghihirap na po yung Filipino, kahit paano po, yung mayaman pa rin po sila. So, paano nyo po as corporation nako-convince yung, for example, yung mga stakeholders po na they are more on the financial gain po. So, paano po yung sustainability doon? Kasi po hindi po natin kontrolado kung paano po yung magiging goal ng mga stakeholders po. Pwede pong merong for sustainability, merong for financial gain. So, how do you convince them po? Yun lang po. Thank you po.
Hey. Yeah, thank you. And I think this is something that I face personally on a daily basis. The simple way to convince stakeholders, especially those who are a little bit more senior or advanced in their career, who are very used to doing things the same way, is you just have to show them. So a lot, it's just visual. Take them, show them, okay, if we do this, this is what's going to happen. If we do this, this is going to happen. The bright spot is, especially as you're dealing with more millennials advancing up in the workforce, they're more conscious about the impact that you can have on the environment and on sustainability. So they're more willing to take the risk and take the financial hit now to get the gain in the future. So that's the good thing about when you're dealing already with the millennial, Gen Z, and eventually Gen Alpha rising up in the workforce. For now, while it is difficult to convince stakeholders, it's not impossible. It just takes a little bit longer to actually show and make your case. But I think now we feel the impact of things that have been done when people were all for profit, like looking for profit, when they were putting financial interests ahead of everything else. And so even the boomers, are feeling it now. So there's more of a consciousness that, okay, we don't want to face these same problems 20, 30 years from now when we're dealing with the next generation. So what can we do now? Maybe we won't do all of the solutions. If I come in saying I want to do 10 things, maybe only 5 will get approved, but 5 is better than 0. So baby steps for now. But I'm confident, you know, as the years come and as we work towards educating the next generation, that mindset of taking sustainability and taking that as a priority over just pure profit will slowly start to shift. We're seeing it slowly now, but I think that's going to ramp up in the next couple of years.
Yeah, agree. I'd also like to make you aware of a bright side. Kasi we have to think of the Philippines as not existing in a vacuum. And in my experience, I started on this journey in 2011. So, tama ka, di ba? You have to just show them. It was really difficult at the start. But because we are not alone in this world, there are a lot of investors out there. Nung nag-umpisa ako, siguro mga 5% of our investors were thinking about the future. Long-term yung pagtingin nila. And the more educated or the more aware your investors are, they put their money on companies that have sustainability programs, meaning or have a mindset for longer-term value. So, pag alam nila na mabubuhay pa ba itong kumpanya na to after 10, 5, 10, 20 years? Number two, ang tatanungin nila, is this company doing harm? So, that group of investors are actually out there. Maybe not in the Philippines, but they're out there. They're in Singapore. They're basically where our money is coming from. So, di ba? So, kasi buti pa nga sila di ba? They care about the Philippines. They care about these companies. Kasi pag mawala ang Pilipinas sa mapa ng, maapektado rin sila. So, just to let you know, ito yung, kasi in the Philippines, Ayala Land is one of the first, if not the first, company that has been given sustainability-linked funding. So, utang pa rin siya. Siguro, just to parang quickly lang, in the business world kasi, sa totoo lang, nangungutang lang naman tayo di ba? And that is why we need profit. Kasi we use other people's money and grow it. Yun lang yun. So yun yung responsibilidad natin. Di ba? Sila yung nagbigay ng pera sa'yo, dapat naman may balik sa kanila. But ito yung higher level of faith na nanggagaling dito sa investors na ito. Okay, bibigyan namin kayo or pautangin namin kayo, but a lower rate than market. We could have put it in gambling. We could have put it in armaments, ammunition. Kasi kumikita ngayon ng armaments dahil may gera sa Ukraine, may gera sa Israel. They could have put it there. Kitang, tubong lugaw na yon. But what? They decide to give it to a little country called the Philippines in a little company called Ayala Land. Longer term, lower interest because we have a commitment to sustainability. We have a commitment to reduce our emissions and reduce our waste and all of these programs and to come up with green buildings. So yun lang. So we have to have, faith. We have to understand how real business works. So hindi evil ang business. Actually, it's really about creating value for other people, for society, and of course for your future. Diba? Yun lang yun
I think we're going to have to close soon for lunch, so you guys can also have lunch. But before we close, I just wanted to ask each of them, because they're talking about from a corporate standpoint, they're talking about, but I know in the end of the day, sustainability has to start with each of you already, now. And so if there's one takeaway you'd want them to sort of absorb and sort of, bring with them when they leave this room today and how they can start their own individual sustainability journey, what would you like to advise them to do?
Okay. Again, good afternoon to everyone. Because maybe as an educator, as you can see on our morning session for Sustainability Forum, sustainability has been defined in multiple ways. But one thing is for sure, the goal of sustainability is not only for the corporate companies, but it is for the betterment and to contribute success for the next generation.
I think just for, on the individual basis on how you can start to explore sustainability, read, do the research, look at what other people are doing. It shows up on my TikTok, so I'm pretty sure it's somewhere there buried in the algorithm. But the ideas are already there, and things that you can do on a personal basis, I think that's a small step. And eventually, as you move into your careers, start your jobs, get your OJTs, think of how you can do that for you as an individual, eventually as your team, eventually as you lead companies, lead teams. I think that's something that you can start to consider, but you won't know where to start if you don't know what to do. And that's where really educating yourself comes. And start that now, get into the practice of it, because you never know what's going to hit you.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like very similar lang din. Learn. For you guys, for the youth, for the next generation, please don't stop learning. Learn from each other. Learn from the ones before you. Learn anywhere, everywhere. So, keep learning. That's it.
Okay, agree. Pero ito yung bilin ko, measure. Diba? Sa healthcare, you measure blood pressure, you measure dosages. For sustainability, measure the amount of waste. So personally lang, dapat alamin ninyo ano yung footprint ninyo. Ganong karaming basura yung inyong napoproduce, paano nyo papababain. Kung blood pressure, kailangan pababain, pati basura, kailangan pababain. And if you can also volunteer or at least look for a way to reduce your footprint as you live your life. So measurement is also important when you read and learn. Tingnan ninyo kung tama ba yung math ng mga claims nila, whatever it is, whether it's to reduction of emissions, it's budget being spent. Yon. So math is very important and measurement is also very important. Yon.
All right. Thank you very much. So again, just to wrap up, I guess the key takeaway is it also starts with us, diba? It's with our choices, our decisions, and even with our wallets, diba? Where we choose to spend our money, the companies we choose to spend them with, we have that power as well. So we're not powerless, we can do something, we are empowered, and that's why we have sessions like this today to empower you guys, the next generation. Thank you very much to our panel. If I could please ask you all to stand, we'll just have a quick photo op. And then if we can also call on our Manila Bulletin executives to join the panel on stage. Can we have Ms. Irish Lorenzo and Mr. Leslie Arajo to join? And then at this point, can we also call on our NU representatives, if you're still here with us, Dr. Arlene Trillanes, Ms. Reina Rose Gulmatico, Mr. Michael John Andres, Dr. Jesse Barot, and Mr. Ricky Lawas, if you're here, or any of our other NU partners who would like to join on stage for the photo op. Okay na? All right, sige. So there we go. Again, thank you very much to our panel. Another round of applause, please. Grabe, ang ganda ng discussion. And we really learned a lot. So thank you. All right, so at this point, everyone, before we conclude our AM session, just have a few reminders. I know what you're waiting for. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it. All right. But one quick announcement from NU, actually, from National University. So, National University is inviting everyone to celebrate their 125th founding anniversary. Oh, di ba? Oh, magka-age pala si NU at saka si Manila Bulletin. 125 years, no? So, on December 5 at the MOA Sky, there will be performances by Lola Amor, Noel Cabangon, Six Cycle Mind, True Faith, and Yeng Constantino. So, tickets are only 500 pesos each, and you can already register through the QR code on screen, or you can purchase from any SM ticket outlets. Oh, 'di ba masaya? So don't miss out on that opportunity. Sayang naman, 'di ba? You got big headliners and it's only 500 pesos per ticket. So again, happening on December 5 at the SM MOA Sky Amphitheater. All right. Okay, so while you're doing that, let me just bring out the winners. Okay, so I will announce our winners for the raffle. Ayan. All right, there we go. So, here we are. We have 15 winners for Coca-Cola gift pack. Sino mahilig sa Coca-Cola? Oh, mukhang maraming tao. All right. So, congratulations to Luna Juliana Luis, Paloma Altea Jane, Alukin Trixie Jamila, Norona Christine, Oliveros Veronica Grace, Artosilia Daniela Quintana, Consulta Caril Jamela, right? All right. Armoganda April, Duron Maria Angelica, Calado Jeren Faith, Bakli Mark William, Forca Catelyn Ann, Sumangid Vince Teddy, Ibanez Stephanie, and Ortega Jamin Ann. Okay, congratulations to all our winners of 15 Coca-Cola packs. Ito naman, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 winners of L'Oreal Absolute Molecular Repair Shampoo. All right. So congratulations to Hufano Wex Ryzen. Sino yan? Wala. Excited lang. Okay. Buti na lang supportive, no? Ang galing nyo talaga. Okay, Jack Martin Manalo. Panalo talaga si Manalo. Jerome R. Fernandez. Justine Infante. Jonathan Raven Alfar. Antoinette Luis Ramos. John Carl Tabunyar. Von Richmond de la Cruz. Elijah Joshua Asuncion. Angelica Shane Hernandez. Bleslie Socias, and Kimberly Francisco. Congratulations sa mga nanalo ng L'Oreal Absolute Molecular Repair Shampoo. But wait, there's more. Ito, marami to, so di ko na bibilangin. Pero parang ano to, 20? Mga 20 winners ba to? Marami to. Again, from L'Oreal. Pero mas pasabog pa. Absolute Molecular Repair Mini Duo Kit. Okay, so buong kit na to. Guys, wala akong alam sa shampoo, sa conditioner, okay? So, pero mukhang excited talaga kayo. Alright, so congratulations to Jared Daniel Salazar, Mariel Togoto, Jana Alia Rivera, Jo Marie Kim Nailo, Zadkiel Villaruel, Rain Arian Evaristo, Rhea May Garcia, Chris Ann Kapispisan, Jamaica Katabay, Maria Angelica Unlayaw, ayun, Riley Jake Basto, Eliza May Cruz, Allen Grace Huleza, Andre Pangilinan, wow. Ito naman si Lambert Dave S. Divina. Meron din si Lorenzo Rafael Bitong. Sandara Lagrana. Okay, si Faye Marie Ariola. Kim Gabriel Pacheco, Maria Alison Job, Nikaila Vash Castro, Nazareno M. Santiago, Maria Arneline Raguro. Ay, sino? Ikaw ba yan? Ikaw yan? Ay, bet ko yun. Haba pa ng hair. Saktong-sakto. Okay. Tapos, eto naman, si Christine Andrea Salamatin, Paula Grace Castro, Maria Alison Job. Ay, okay. Inulit ko na pala yun. Yan, Manalo. Okay. Si Maria Lorem Nikaela Vash Castro, Lorem Rafael Bitong, Jack Martin Manalo, Sheila May Batayolia, Patricia Jose, Natalie Cruzado, Sofia Lara Pantoja, Herschel Cari Pedro, Mary Grace Abanes, Nicole Ann Camulista, Janine Lian Conde, Daniela Chaim Ocampo, Andrea Faith Ornales, Roxanne Saguicho, Isa May Dina, Francesca Arnella Espejo, Mitch Arbao, Juliana Del Rosario, and Antoinette Medalyada. All right. So again, congratulations to all our winners. And sa tatlong students natin na nag-answer during the Q&A, you also have your prizes. Claim them at the registration booth. All right? And that goes also for all our raffle winners. You can claim your prizes up to 1 p.m. today. Okay? So may 30 minutes pa kayo. Ipakita nyo lang yung ID nyo. Just show your ID and you'll be eligible to reclaim your prizes. All right. That said, can I please ask everyone to stand up now? All right, so let's all please stand because now we are going to sing the National University Hymn. That wraps our morning session of day 2 for the Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum 2025. Guys, I hope you all learned a lot this morning. Yes? Yes! Thank you. I love the enthusiasm. All right. So we will break now for lunch and we will come back at 1:30? 1:30? Yeah. So about 1:30 thereabout. All right. So once again, my name is Sam Thurman. Enjoy your lunch and we will see you all again for the afternoon session of the Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum 2025.